Good evening and welcome to the May 13th, 2025 board meeting of the Attachment Unified School District Board of Trustees. And Deanna, Ms. Barnes, please take attendance.
President Kaminsky,
Here.
Vice President Kelly,
Here.
Clerk Wood, here, Trustee Cooper,
Here.
Trustee Christensen,
Here.
Trustee Napier, Trustee Sweeney absent, Superintendent Francis Lynch,
Here.
and I'm Deanna Barnes.
Thank you, Ms. Barnes. Now it's time for a flag salute and moment of silent reflection. And to lead us tonight is the counselor at Jacobson Middle School, Aaron Dyer.
Salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please continue to stand. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Dyer. Item 2, approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion for the approval of the agenda?
Kelly makes the motion.
Second.
It was motioned by Vice President Kelly, seconded by Trustee Cooper to approve the agenda as presented. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Item 3, recognition of Capturing Kids' Hearts student greeters. Superintendent Lynch.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. This month's greeters are from Jacobson Middle School. They're also part of the Student Voice Ambassadors program. Spent most of today in Bakersfield recognizing their participation in that program. And so, actually, we only had one of them show up tonight, and he's been doing a stellar job. He's been restocking with handouts because he's had quite a few people to give them to tonight. So I'd like to recognize Hunter Garcia, 7th grader. We're going to have you come out here and take a picture with her.
In case you fall, I can pick you up.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm the biggest crowd of the year and one guy. And item 4, recognition of students, staff, community. Number 1, student recognitions, top academic performers on the 2023-2024 CASP. Superintendent Lynch.
Thank you very much. All righty, so as part of our recognition this evening, we will be recognizing our top academic performers from each school site. So at this time, I'd like to bring our Chief Academic Officer for Instructional Services up, Andrea Paxton.
Good evening, Board of Trustees. I'm excited to have the opportunity to recognize students for outstanding achievement on the 23-24 CASP assessment. And so right now we're in the middle of CASP for the 24-25 school year, and we use this data to identify areas of need, opportunities for growth, and really recognize students that have shown outstanding growth. It's also useful for our school sites and for parents. Go ahead. So at the beginning of testing, or right before the testing window starts, we begin talking with students about testing. We do goal setting activities with students. We share with them how they did the previous year, and we talk about what their scores mean, because a lot of students are not familiar with what their score is or what they would like it to be. And then we try to make testing as fun as possible, because we know that it is rigorous for students and sometimes not so fun. So we try to offer lots of incentives. We celebrate when they're done. We have an ice cream cart that we come, and we all kind of just celebrate, hooray, you're done, and we have prizes along with that. So we try to make it as enjoyable as possible. But tonight, we're going to recognize students that have outstanding achievement or demonstrated significant growth on their CASP. And we're going to start with students at Cummings Valley. So students, when I call your name, I'm going to have you come up. We're going to give you your certificate, and I'm going to ask that you stay up here, so parents, at the end, you'll be able to get a picture of your student. So first, for Cummings Valley, we have Jacob Kirby for high score in language arts. Next, we have Sophie Delgado Ray, high score in math. Next, Zoe Avanatic, high score, ELA and math. And then Brighton Pearsall, most growth, and the score increased by 194 points in language arts. Okay, and that concludes our winners from Cummings Valley. So if you would like to take a picture, come on up.
Can I have you two look over here really quick? Thank you.
All right, next we're going to recognize the students from Golden Hills. First up is Logan Wilson for high score and in math and language arts. Next up is Connor Winkler for high score in language arts. Maxton Carrillo, high score in language arts. Congratulations. And I do have to share Maxton. He was a winner last year as well, so congratulations to him. And then most growth goes to London Smith, who increased performance in language arts by 299 points. What's your name?
Connor?
Connor. Okay. Yep, come on up. Okay, yeah, it's crowded.
Can I have you guys look over here real quick? Thank you.
Okay, thank you guys. Next, we'll be recognizing our students from Tompkins Elementary. First up is Jude Bradley with a high score in language arts. Next is Catherine Album, high score in math. Aiden King, high score in language arts. And finally, Andre Amato, most growth and language arts with an improved score of 169 points. Okay, Tompkins parents, if you'd like to take a picture, come on up. Now we'll recognize students from Jacobson Middle School. First up is Samuel Burkett with a high score in language arts. Andrew Bobbitt with most growth in language arts with an improved score of 313 points. Serena Thornburg with high score in math. And Serena is a double winner as well. She won last year. Yeah. Gabriella Fisher, most growth in language arts with an increased score of 277 points. Yuretsi Morales with a high score in language arts. And Logan Wheeler, most growth in language arts with an increased score of 258 points. JMS parents, if you'd like to come up and take a picture.
Okay, can I have everybody look over here? Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to Tehachapi High School. First up is James Mangelsdorf, also a double winner for high score in math. Mackenzie White with an improved score of 258 points in math. Johnny Batista with a perfect score in language arts and math. And then last but not least is Calvin Hibbard, most growth in math with an increased score of 306 points. And parents, if you'd like to take a picture, please come on up. So I just want to say congratulations to all of our students who put forth such hard work during our testing season, and we look forward to recognizing outstanding achievement from the 24-25 students next year.
And now to item 2, Employees of the Year 2024-2025. Superintendent Lynch.
All righty, so we'll be moving into I believe, the Teachers of the Year, so I'll call principals up. I'd like to have the principal from Cummings Valley, Taylor Marquison, come on up and give us her Employees of the Year.
So we had one student just arrive, if you don't mind, if we could just recognize her. Okay, thanks. So we have Zoe Avanitich with a high score in language arts and math. If we could give her a round of applause. It's okay. Just turn around so your mom can. All right, thank you.
Good evening, Board, and all of our esteemed guests this evening. It is my pleasure to recognize Kate Ashley as the Cummings Valley Schools Teacher of the Year. Is she coming up? I have more to say. I just want her up here so she can be recognized. Kate's compassion and her care for all of the children shine through in everything she does. From her complex, well-developed lessons to her warmth and humor, she is making a meaningful difference in the lives of her students and staff alike. Mrs. Ashley proves year after year that her support with each child in reaching their potential. I am very thankful to know her and to give her this well-deserved award of Cummings Valley Teacher of the Year. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate that. Okay, I am now thrilled to invite Mrs. Pam Johnson up. Pam is our 2025 Cummings Valley Employee of the Year. Pam is a wonderful, talented, kind, and amazing presence on our team. She is always going above and beyond with a lot of grace and a lot of compassion. As she prepares for retirement, I reflect with very deep appreciation on the many ways that she's making a lasting impact on our school over at Cummings Valley. It has been my pleasure to get to know Pam and call her my friend. While we will miss her dearly, we are so proud to honor her this evening with this well-deserved recognition.
Next, from Golden Hills Elementary School, I would like to call Kendra Bailey.
Good evening. I'd like to announce our Teacher of the Year, Stacy Williams. Stacy, would you please join me up here? I always get in trouble for saying too much, so I better start talking. Stacy has been a teacher for TUSD for 29 years. She spent 17 years teaching in second, 2 in first, and 10 in kindergarten. I have had the privilege of working with Stacy for all of the 10 years that I have been a site principal. What stands out to me about this incredible teacher is her professionalism. Stacy gives her best to her students each day and makes every single instructional minute count. She thoughtfully plans her lessons, days, weeks, and school year. Additionally, she goes over and above in supporting her kindergartners by putting on several kindergarten plays and performances a year. So much extra time goes into these plays, from set design, costumes, and helping very little people learn their lines and sing all of the songs in unison. These productions give her students such a wonderfully engaging way to apply their early literacy skills and gain confidence while having the best time and melting all of our hearts. A colleague had this to say about Stacy: our kindergarten team is better because she's in it. Stacy will always pick up the phone if you call her. She's a busy mom, but she always provides time to support those who need her advice. She is an experienced yet humble teacher. She brings an element of professionalism, organization, and excitement to our school. I am honored to work alongside her, and I share her sentiments. It has been an honor to work alongside Stacy. So congratulations on this well-deserved recognition. All right, and now I have the pleasure of introducing our Classified Employee of the Year, Leslie Lloyd. So Leslie, come on up. She loves the attention, right? All right. Leslie has served our school in the role of principal secretary for 3 years, and prior to that, she was the attendance clerk at CB for 5 years, and she also has worked as a special education paraprofessional in our district. In the 3 years that Leslie has been with us at GH, we have had some incredible adventures together. Like, incredible, right? Incredible. We can't even really talk about it. All right. She has been steady and supportive in both good and hard times, and kind and patient and helpful and supportive to all every single day, parents, students, and staff. She multitasks well, which is needed in her current role as we have so many meetings to schedule and events to plan for. Leslie is dependable, professional, and she's really, really funny. Her sense of humor lightens the mood and brightens the day for all of us. It has been a blessing to work with her, and it is an honor to call her my friend. The colleague who nominated her had this to say: beyond her administrative duties, Leslie is a wonderful source of emotional support for everyone at our school. She provides a listening ear and words of encouragement when needed, making it clear that she values and appreciates the efforts of those around her. It is a rare gift to have someone who actively acknowledges when others are kind, helpful, or doing something special. Thank you, Leslie, for your hard work and dedication to our dream team.
Presenting next is the principal from Tompkins Elementary, Claire Ray.
Mrs. Cowan, can you join me? Lupe Cowan exemplifies excellence in education through her unwavering commitment, exceptional professional skills, and the profound impact she has on her students' lives. Her dedication to fostering both academic and personal growth is evident in everything she does, especially in her tireless support of our English learner students. Lupe teaches her lessons in both English and Spanish, ensuring that all students have access to high-quality instruction and curriculum. Her bilingual approach creates an inclusive and equitable learning environment where every student can thrive. In addition to her classroom work, Mrs. Cowan leads the after-school program team, which provides vital support for low-income families, English learners, and working parents. Her leadership has helped to make the program a safe, enriching space where students feel valued and supported beyond the school day. Lupe's dedication to her students and colleagues is truly inspiring. She is a role model, a leader, an exceptional educator, and we are incredibly fortunate to have her as part of the Tompkins team. Congratulations, Mrs. Cowan. Get your husband first.
Got a smile for that one. Thank you.
Can I ask Mrs. Cowan's entire family to come up so we can get a picture really fast, please? Thank you. I'm not going to be in it because I just want to.
They surprised me. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Our classified employee of the year is Julissa Cabanillas. Julissa, can you join me? She is another one that dreads the attention. Just look at me. It's all good. Julissa is a cherished member of the Tompkins team, serving both as an EL para and the lead for the team program. Every day, Julissa goes above and beyond to support our English language learners. She is a passionate advocate, ensuring they have access to the resources and support they need to succeed in their academic journeys. Julissa has a remarkable gift for building meaningful connections with students and understanding the unique challenges they face. In her leadership role with the team, she creates a welcoming and positive environment where students feel safe, valued, and empowered after school. Her compassion, dedication, and unwavering commitment to the Tompkins family make her an invaluable part of our community. We are so grateful for all that you do, Julissa. Congratulations.
Next, we'll recognize staff from Jacobson Middle School, and I'll call up their principal, David Adamson.
Good afternoon. It's an honor to start by presenting our Teacher of the Year, Joel McCormick. So if he'll come on up. In the 8 months that I've been here to get to know him as a teacher and see him interact with students and colleagues, I've been able to see what his students and colleagues have known for a while, that he is a remarkable human being and a remarkable teacher. I had a student quote, Mr. McCormick is a great teacher because he is fun to be around. He makes boring things exciting and is always willing to help students in class and out of class. Mr. McCormick is just a kind, great person. One of his fellow colleagues wrote, Joel's role as a key member of his teaching team cannot be overstated. He is always willing to lend his support and expertise to colleagues, making him an integral part of the success of his department. His dedication to his students and his peers set him apart. In my time, I've seen where he make sure that science is hands-on, which is, to me, what makes science fun. I've seen lots of science teachers go straight out of books and stuff. He makes it exciting and real for his students. He works with his fellow teachers. He helps new teachers grow. And we use the word uncompromised excellence here, and I believe that he exemplifies that. Okay.
Thanks.
Oh. And another person who exemplifies uncompromised excellence, I would like to call up Ephraim to receive our JMS Classified of the Year. The two words that best describe him to me is heart and pride. He takes pride in what he does. He has a lot of heart for his work. He works hard to communicate with Mr. Bain and myself about his work. He is our lead custodian, and he tries to be just that, a leader amongst all of his custodians. He tries to bring his passion to have a clean school that students can be proud of to those that he works with. He is constantly in communication with us on his work. He is constantly wanting everything he does to be at the utmost of what he does. It's easy to overlook custodians. It's easy to overlook what they do, and it's probably easier to criticize what doesn't get cleaned than what does. But we're proud to have him. We're proud to have him as our lead, and the work he does to make Jacobson the best environment for students and staff to work in.
Thank you, guys.
And he also has all of his family here. I don't know if we can get a picture of him with his family. Oh. Yes.
Next, to recognize the Employees of the Year from Tehachapi High School, please welcome Principal Christy Libatique.
All right. A huge shout out to not just Tehachapi High School's Teacher of the Year, but our TUSD Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Hillary Romo. Hillary also really loves the attention. Hillary is just about to wrap up her 11th year at THS, and in that time she has become that caring adult that every student needs. She's most proud of her unwavering commitment to supporting students, especially those facing challenges in and outside of the classroom. Her greatest reward, hearing from former students who thank her for never giving up on them. Education can be tough, but Hillary tackles it with heart, humor, and a whole lot of patience. With the support of her family and her extended THS family, she's learned to balance what matters and to remember that the urgent things will still be there tomorrow. Those are Hillary's words. Hillary, you truly embody what it means to make a difference. So thank you and congratulations. You should be in it.
Get your You make me come, Christy. Thank you.
And our THS Classified Employee of the Year is Tara Graves. Tara's not here because yesterday I tricked her into coming to the staff meeting so we could all recognize her, and that was more attention than she could handle, so she couldn't do another night. And Tara has been holding down the fort at TUSD for 15 years, 9 of those years at THS. She was started as a clerk and went all the way to principal secretary. She is the person, and these people behind me can attest to that everyone can count on. She is the one who knows what's going on, she knows where everything is, she knows how to fix it when it all goes sideways. We're not saying that the place would fall apart without her, but we're also not saying that. She has more than earned this recognition.
Next, I'll call up the principal from the Tehachapi Education Center and TILA program, Dr. Bonnie Porter.
And I'm calling up Chris White. She makes me laugh, so I'm trying to compose myself because we've been joking all day about this. Okay. It's an honor to present Chris White as TILA's Teacher of the Year. Mrs. White is in her 30th or maybe 31st year, we're not sure, with TUSD. She has taught science at JMS and upper elementary and science at TILA. Chris is one of the only employees who has been a teacher at TILA since the school's opening. Over the years, she has also been involved with TAT, serving on the negotiation team, as well as being a school site representative. For the past 3 years, she has been honored to serve as the TILA TIC, or Teacher in Charge. I can't think of a more coveted position than a TILA TIC, except for acting as the TILA CASP coordinator, which Chris is also honored with. But seriously, Mrs. White goes above and beyond when it comes to teaching science to her students. She spends hours looking up new ways to introduce the science concept for her students. TILA Middle School students look forward to her class because she makes science applicable and exciting. Chris's students enjoy making spider launchers, marble mazes, papier-mâché solar systems, and changing the color of carnations. On a personal note, Chris enjoys sharing her online art finds with her colleagues. She is also an amazing gift giver. Little dogs made out of metal, cute fox figurines, flying bird mobiles, basset hound signs, all from Chris. The TILA staff and TILA students are lucky to know and work with Mrs. White. We can look at each other now. Oh, wait, let me take a glass. Thank you. Okay, Wendy. Wendy's family's here. Maybe they can come up too. They actually do deserve part of this award because they help out a lot at TILA. Wendy Von Ruden was nominated as the TILA Classified Staff of the Year. It is no surprise that Wendy received the nomination because she is a dream to work with. Wendy consistently exceeds expectations in her role as an instructional para. Not only is Wendy a dedicated employee, she is also a mother of 3 wonderful boys and some well-cared-for chickens. Over the last 3 years, Wendy has made a significant and lasting impact on TILA students and families. She starts her morning in the TILA parking lot where she greets students with a warm welcome as they come onto campus. Throughout the day, you can see Wendy bounce from working with a small group of 2nd, 3rd grade students to helping our high school students log on to Admentum assessments. Our students appreciate the patient, caring way Wendy assists them. And I probably shouldn't tell the board this, but quite often, parents would rather talk to Wendy than me when they have a question about Admentum. They're actually smart to do that because she sometimes knows more than me. When Wendy sees a colleague working on a project, she's the first to ask if she can help out. Because of her willingness to jump in and lend a hand, Wendy and her family have spent weekends decorating the gym for Halloween dance or spray painting cardboard cacti for our open house. And Wendy and her husband have even arranged to have toys donated to families in need throughout the district. If you are lucky enough to work at Tila, you can also enjoy the apples and peaches that Wendy picks from her trees. Wendy really does have a heart of gold and deserves to be recognized as Tila's Classified Employee of the Year.
Alrighty, and at this time, I'd like to make one more notice of our Teacher of the Year, Hillary Romo, and our Classified Employee of the Year, Efren Nalangan. If you'd like to come back up and take a picture. Sure, bring those with you. We'll just get a nice picture with all three of us. Maybe I'll stand between you.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Now we'd like to take a moment to recognize our retirees for the 24-25 school year. To that end, I will call up our principal from the high school, Christy Libatique, to recognize her retirees.
Mrs. Archie, come on down. Huh?
You gonna talk about all of this now?
Yes, that's my job, right? Yeah, my boss said so. Lisa Archie has been a science rock star at THS for 25 years after making the move from Los Angeles Unified. So she is now wrapping up an impressive 32-year teaching career. Lisa has inspired a generation of students, many who went on to major in chemistry on purpose, like on purpose. Her favorite moments, those wow faces when a tough concept finally clicks, and the excitement of watching real-time reactions, pardon the pun, during her epic chemistry labs. She'll miss the daily student energy, her awesome, these are her words, THS crew, and all the behind-the-scenes heroes at the district office. Lisa, enjoy your well-earned break. You definitely made chemistry cool. Huh? I know, it's way back. Is Sherry Kabonic in the building? Sherry Kabonic is retiring after an incredible 38-year career in education. Including 36 years in TUSD and the last 6 at Monroe. Sherry's proudest moments come from helping her students succeed, especially at Monroe, and she'll definitely miss the daily laughs and those amazing moments when students lit up with pride, even over the small wins. She's answering the call of adventure. She said finally, but if you've seen any of her vacations, she's been living life. With spontaneous travel, new hobbies, and giving back through community volunteering. Sherry wants to thank her husband, Gary, who waited very, very patiently for 10 years for this retirement to actually happen. If you know, when she started at Monroe, she said, "I've got a semester." I said, "Okay, we'll talk about that." And then we talked, and we talked again and again, and 6 years later, I couldn't talk her out of it this time. And to thank her kids, Kirsten and Wade, for being the ultimate teacher's kids, resilient, supportive, and always in her corner. Sherry, you've made a difference, and now it's your time to sleep in.
Congratulations, enjoy your time, and all the travel.
Oh, you have to be in here too. We go strong.
Want me to take the picture? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
I believe. Mr. Jernigan. THS would like to thank, I can't even talk, I'm only on the third one. Okay, THS would like to thank James Dave Jernigan, who's retiring after 8 years at Tehachapi High after he already crushed a 27-year career as an engineer. Mr. J brought real-world project-based learning into the classroom, and he's most proud of giving students hands-on experiences that actually meant something. He'll miss those motivated students who showed up ready to learn, but he's definitely not going to miss the short summers. So enjoy your long, work-free summers ahead. You've more than earned it.
Congratulations, enjoy.
I'm just going to suck it up and be in pictures. No. Thank you. And Mr. Kimbrough, he is not, I believe he's not here. He's actually giving a final at Saracoso tonight. So big congratulations to Hollis Kimbrough, who's retiring after 20 years at THS and a teaching career that started in 1998 at Saracoso. Hollis has always believed in the life-changing power of math, and he means that, and has found joy not just in teaching students, but in supporting parents, colleagues, and, in his words, anyone else brave enough to engage in a conversation about equations. While not everyone may have agreed with him all the time, and he has things to say about that too, Hollis stayed true to what he believed was best for others, and he did it with integrity, and if you know him, a healthy dose of wit. He'll miss the good challenges of teaching and is looking forward to a well-earned break once he decides where to start. He said, maybe family, maybe travel, maybe ministry. So whatever it is, enjoy the next chapter, Hollis. Lynette Brown, come on down. Lynette is wrapping up an amazing 26-year career in education, including 19 dedicated years at THS. Lynette has always taken student safety seriously because when parents hand over their kids every day, that trust matters. She'll miss those magical light bulb moments when something finally clicks for a student, the excitement when they just had to share something with her, and of course, the many wonderful colleagues she's worked with along the way. You did not mention the popcorn in the learning lab. As for retirement, she's trading her bells and lesson plans for grandbabies, volunteering, and some well-deserved travel. Lynette, you've earned every bit of this. Here we go.
Thank you.
All righty, I would like to again call up the principal of Jacobson Middle School, David Adamson.
I believe Paula Macon's not here, but I would still like to speak on her behalf anyways. Paula has worked here for a while, and over the last few years, she's worked in our Alternative to Suspension program, which we refer to as ISI. She is the premier teacher who has done that program, and the dedication of what she brought to this campus, to this district, can't be overstated. She helped bring in a program that allows us to see students beyond just their worst moments, but to work with them to reflect, to restore, and to build up. She has dedicated herself to rehabilitating students, giving students second chances so that when they go back into their classrooms, we can help them become their utmost. And so I want to congratulate Paula Makins into her retirement. Lisa McKim, I believe, is also not here. Lisa McKim actually retired a little bit earlier, about a month or two ago. She has over 30 years dedicated herself to music. She is passionate about her music, and her students absolutely loved her. She demanded a lot of them. She demanded excellence, and they produced excellence for her. She had instruments that I did not see in any other middle school in my 20 years of education. She, if you know what a double reed wooden instrument is, which is oboes and bassoons, you do not see those at middle schools, and yet she had kids playing them and playing them in a way that it was enjoyable to listen to, which is remarkable. Even at the end of her career, her dedication to perform with her kids was remarkable. Our spring concert was canceled 3 times due to snow through March and April. And in each time, already retired, she continued to work with us so that she can give those students a chance to say goodbye to her with the performance and for her to say goodbye to them. We know that she will continue to enjoy music, and we hope that we can continue to make her proud as we continue our musical legacy from what she has produced.
And from Cummings Valley Elementary Principal, Ms. Marquison. Sorry.
I got a little overly excited, but not in a very sad way. I want to invite Wendy Neufeld, which is now Mrs. Wendy Featherston, up. Wendy is a devoted and deeply respected member of our school and Tehachapi Unified School District. Wendy has served 30 years in education, which 29 of those were here in Tehachapi. During that time, Wendy has worn many hats around Tehachapi Unified. She has served as learning director, teacher, and currently our RSP teacher at our school site, along with other many things that I ask of her all the time. Wendy consistently shows amazing dedication, warmth to staff and students alike. Not only is Wendy a knowledgeable educator, she builds lasting and meaningful relationships with students and staff alike. She truly embodies capturing kids' hearts as she greets all of her children and makes sure that she knows them by name and helps them to meet all of their goals. As she embarks on this new chapter of her life, we extend heartfelt, deep appreciation and also best wishes for her in her retirement. Wendy, you will be missed, but we will always remember.
Thank you.
Pam Johnson. She was also the Employee of the Year.
Did we not have one for her on?
Would this be a good time for all of us to say happy birthday to Pam Johnson? Everybody on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday, Pam! Okay, I would like to invite Pam Johnson. I'm just going to say Pam did not proof, so if you can just really bear with me tonight. No, I'm just kidding. Pam, or sometimes we also call her Pammy Johnson, has worked at Cummings Valley School for the last 25 years. During that time, Pam has facilitated many things at our school, like our annual talent show, our 5K, student council, and so many more things. Pam's attention to detail and her commitment to our school is unmatched. As Pam begins to move into being a Grammy, we will miss her, but we look forward to seeing all of her really, really fun travel pictures and everything retirement will bring, along with an amazing tan. Pam, it has been my pleasure to work alongside you. I am forever grateful for your impact on my career, my leadership, and my life. Thank you for your support and care. You have made me want to be a better educator, mom, and friend. I wish you all the best.
Congratulations. Enjoy your retirement.
Even though you already have. Thank you.
And next, I'll call up the principal from Golden Hills Elementary, Kendra Bailey.
All right, Amandina, come on up.
Start by reading my t-shirt. See you later, alligator.
See you after a while, crocodile. Bye-bye, butterfly. What is the... See you again next time.
Yes, love it. So Amandina retired in 2024 in December after working for TUSD for 18 and a half years. I have worked with Amandina for the past few years as she has been teaching our special day preschool class. In the time I've worked with Amandina, what impressed me the most was her passion and dedication in educating her young students. She knew her students' strengths and needs well and worked tirelessly in partnerships with parents and families to help her preschoolers make great strides academically, behaviorally, and socially. Amandina was both hardworking and an advocate for her students. She shared in a vision to bring the Special Olympics program to our district and school site, and this past year that dream came to fruition as we had a hugely successful Special Olympics event involving special education and general education preschool and transitional kindergarten students. It was a truly amazing and heartwarming event. Amandina put her heart and soul into what she did. She retired in December of 2024, and her retirement is well deserved. We miss her, but her passion is an inspiration to us, and we still strive to give our best every day, because she gave her best every day.
Congratulations. Hope you're enjoying it.
All righty, and once again, David Adamson. No, I don't think so. I don't think Marcella's here, and she's actually in our food service department, and Hortensia is not here to recognize her tonight. I apologize for that. Yep. Okay.
So I also believe Ellen is not here tonight. However, Ellen is an absolute delight. She brings pleasure to our campus. She is the principal secretary, and to be honest, she is the person who directs me to which way I need to be heading. She is my North Star to where I need to go, and then she is also my alarm when I need to leave there and go to the next direction. She is always willing to offer anybody who comes by some Pringle chips, good humor, and in his absolute professionalism combined with just humor and delight. I know that I actually am concerned about how I'm going to fare next year without her, just because of how much she just knows her job, does it well, and it's just an absolute wonderful human being. And so I want to wish Ellen just the greatest retirement.
Okay. And I'll call back up to the podium the principal from Tompkins Elementary, Claire Ray.
Unfortunately, Patty couldn't be with us tonight, but I'd like to say a few words about Patty McCormick. After 22 incredible years of service to the Tehachapi Unified School District, Patty is closing a beloved chapter in her life, one filled with heart, humor, and unwavering dedication. Patty began her journey in 2003 as the opening aide for Cummings Valley Daycare. In 2013, Patty bravely stepped to the dark side, as she fondly puts it, of special education. The last 7 years, she has been serving as an RSP aide with Mrs. Pryor. Whether teaching, cheering students on, celebrating their victories, or helping them find lost cell phones and keys, Patty has done it all with kindness, grace, and a smile. Beyond the classroom, Patty often wears many hats. She is often our dancing Tommy Tiger in the mascot for our kids. She's our unofficial school photographer, and we call her our beloved kitchen fairy because she cleans the kitchen and the lounge every Friday, so we love that. Patty's presence will be deeply missed, but her legacy will continue to inspire. Enjoy writing this next chapter of your life, Patty. You've earned it.
Okay, one more time, congratulations to our TUSD retirees. And I think that takes us to a short break to recognize all of our folks and invite them for goodies.
Okay, before I adjourn us to refreshments, Trustee Sweeney should be noted on she came in at 5:45. And with that, adjourned for a short break. It's 6:25, and we're going to resume our session. We'll go to item 5, general function. Number 1, superintendent update. Mr. Lynch.
Thank you, Board President. Alrighty, so we'll start off with just a quick thank you one more time for our lone CKH greeter this evening, Mr. Garcia from Jacobson Middle School. So thank you for your help, guys. Alrighty, next we have the Night of the Arts. On Thursday, April 24th, the high school art department hosted the Night of the Arts from 6 to 8 p.m. TUSD students were able to display their original artwork, paintings, drawings, ceramics, sculpture, and poetry. I must say there are some talented artists in Tehachapi Unified School District. All of the works were really amazing. I was invited over to actually help judge the artwork before the final showing, and finding a best in show was difficult because a lot of good work. So kudos to them. Alrighty, some FFA events. I know FFA was here at our last meeting to speak with you. Just wanted to recognize some of the things they did. Got a great picture of them sitting in front of our state capitol. But the FFA program is on a comeback. We do have a small FFA contingency at the high school, some very interested and involved parents. We're hoping to continue to grow. As the program grows, we hope to bring back some of the program services we've had in the past. We're being mindful of our growth and trying to make sure that we don't do too much at once. However, we did send a couple of students to Sacramento for the state conference, and also to a livestock show at the AV Fairgrounds, which is in the next slide. Our kids did some great work, earned some recognition, including Peyton Segale, who placed in the top 3 of the pig class, made it into the top 10 in showmanship. Tyler Gurley, who achieved 2nd place in the market lamb class and was also a top 10 in showmanship. And Levi Leach, who finished 6th in the Lamb Classic, clinched 1st place in both the market class and showmanship, even earned himself a belt buckle. Not only that, but Levi showed exceptional sportsmanship by giving up his spot in the master showmanship so that his teammate from the baseball team, Bryce Segale, could compete. So kudos to our FFA program. Classified hiring. At the time of this writing, we have only 1 open classified position in the district. This is an amazing accomplishment because unlike certificated positions, classified positions come open quite often. So kudos to our classified hiring team. Keep up the stellar work. State testing. Over the last few weeks, we have conducted most of our state educational testing, including both the CASP and the summative LPAC testing. For the most part, testing went well with very few technical or procedural issues, none that could not be addressed or corrected. We're currently finishing up makeup testing for a few students, and a couple of sites still are closing out their tests. Overall, our participation rates are much improved over last year, and it looks like we will meet our desired participation rates for this year. So, good job with state testing. Next up is our TikTok challenge, just kind of an update on where we were with this. Much to our chagrin, TikTok presented a new challenge for school-age students to try and access the battery on their Chromebook and then get it to short out and catch fire. We had several students who did engage in this challenge, and a few were successful. We have addressed this at the site level and in the Parent Square message, and the timely and appropriate response of our administrative teams seems to have brought our students' participation to a rapid end. Hopefully this challenge has run its course. Next, we have graduation and promotion. We will have 2 graduation events next month and 1 promotion. We'll start off with Monroe High School's graduation at the THS Gymnasium on Monday, June 9th at 6 p.m. Next, we have the Jacobson Middle School promotion, Wednesday, June 11th at Coy Burnett Stadium, also at 6 p.m. And finally, the culminating event is the Tehachapi High School graduation on Thursday, June 12th in the Coy Burnett Stadium, also at 6 p.m. Quick update on sports. Tennis, our varsity Warriors competed the league season, 11 wins and 12 losses after losing our number 1 player early on in the year due to an injury. Varsity qualified for and entered CIF team playoffs, where we received a high seed home match in Division 5. The league was tough this year, with opposing schools being fully senior-only teams. In league individuals, we took 3 singles players and 3 doubles teams to compete. We had 1 doubles team composed of freshman Colton Young and junior Robert Clem, bring home fourth place out of 15 teams during individual playoffs, which earned them the right to represent our league at area playoffs on May 9th and 10th. The junior varsity program had a solid finish, wrapping up their season. They took 2 singles players and 2 doubles teams into their individual playoffs, where they competed hard against long-established JV programs. Of the 4 competitors to go, 2 singles and 2 doubles teams, 1 doubles team made up of James Mangelsdorf and Noah Cardenas earned 3rd place overall out of 8 teams competing. Both teams are looking forward to attending the JMS Field Day event on the 30th of May. Track and field, the Frosh Soft girls closed out league, finishing 3rd in standings, while the boys finished in 2nd. Individuals received medals for finishing 1st through 3rd in each event attempted. Varsity girls and boys had a meet last Wednesday to compete in league finals at South High School. Individuals who qualified for CIF will move on to Reedley for a chance to advance to the Masters meet in Fresno. During the foothill meet, Delilah Cardenas set a new girls triple jump record for Tehachapi High School. She went 35 feet, 2.0 inches, surpassing the old record set by Mandy Rozecki in 1996 that was 34 feet, 6 inches. In golf, Tehachapi Boys Golf went undefeated this season and won league with a 5-0 record. The team shot a qualifying score of 471 to be able to participate in the D3 Valley Championship. Tristan Hurst averaged 80 and got 1st in league. Colton Michael averaged 90 and got 2nd in league. Rylan Hurst averaged 90.25 and got 3rd in league. Paxton Schultz averaged 129.5 and was 10th in the league. The D3 championship will be either May 12th or 13th at Tulare Golf Course. In softball, JV softball is currently undefeated in league play and are hoping to clinch the league title this week during their last 2 games of play against South High. Varsity's overall record is 13 wins and 11 losses. We're currently in 1st in league with a league record of 6 wins and no losses. This week, the Warriors will face South High School, which will determine the league championship. Varsity softball is looking forward to participating in the JMS Field Day at the end of this month. In swimming, varsity boys and girls swimming is currently 4-0 in league, with the following athletes qualifying for CIF Division I: Dominic Martin, Zach Tier, Cody Wutma, Lars Mathewson, and Cole Porter. Allison George, Gianna Sanders, Whitney Bankston, Katie Corsell, and Malaya Westbrook. The D1 championships will be held in Clovis on May 9th and 10th. Varsity League championships will take place Friday, May 2nd at Kern High Aquatic Center. The JV boys team is currently 4-0 in league. The JV girls team is currently 3-1 in league. And then in baseball, varsity is currently 11-0 in league and 21-6 overall. They've done well so far this season and are looking forward to playoffs, which will begin May 16th. The Warriors baseball program will be attending the JMS Field Day at the end of this month. JV baseball is currently 8-0 in league with an overall record of 10-2. They're hoping to clinch the league title this week with their games against South High School. Frosh Soft baseball finished the season with a 15-4 record. They had a strong finish to their season with a 10-game win streak. Good job for Warrior sports this season.
Why don't we recognize them?
I don't know. I didn't get them in my sports update. Sorry.
Should.
I will double check that next time. All right, and so that brings us to enrollment. Our current enrollment report is there. Our enrollment numbers are for week number 33 of the school year. Overall, right now, there's 17 students fewer than last year for this week of school. We have about 9 students more than we did at the end of last school year. And next is our attendance update. District-wide attendance for week 33 of the school year is also listed there. It's down slightly from 92.04 from 92.08. So pretty close to where we were last year on attendance. Okay. Next, we have upcoming dates and events. And finally, our bulletin boards this week are presented by Golden Hills Elementary School. So I'll call Principal Kendra Bailey up to the podium to point those out and give us her report.
Good evening. Liz and Jen.
All right. Try to make this quick. All right. From our very first meeting of the year, we have been working hard to improve our school climate, specifically around the concept of team. We refer to our staff as our dream team, and we have been intentional at every opportunity to build a strong, positive team. At the very first meeting, we brainstormed things that were both productive and counterproductive to a strong team, and we continued to refer to them. This slide has a few of the key ideas that staff came up with. I'll let you read them yourself, as necessary for a strong team. We also performed a hip-hop dance for them to the 1980 song, The LA Dream Team is in the House, which was so fun, but it was a once-in-a-career performance. So that is us dressed, ready to go. It was awesome. Like, our new teachers were probably like, what is going on? Well, we do have it on video, so. in a vault. Okay. So our dream team is built on the belief that we each play an integral role in the team. So this slide is focused on some of our amazing classified staff members. And we are super excited that we found out at the end of April that our school was selected as a Capturing Kids' Hearts National Showcase School. We got our big banner just arrived today. Yes, very exciting. Thank you. So from my understanding, this is primarily based on the positive feedback we received from parents, staff, and student surveys, along with what was observed on campus and in classrooms when our CKH representative Kent visited our school. Here are some of the things that we feel like are going well at Golden Hills with CKH, along with some areas that we still feel like we need to grow in. So we've been connecting PBIS and Capturing Kids' Hearts. Our Eagle eggs change colors each month, which really helps students be excited about them. And we still give Eagle eggs for being safe, respectful, and responsible, but we also give them for the lead-worthy trait of the month. So that's really helped us to tie those things together. We really are intentional about welcoming and greeting students, welcoming parents and guests, and being responsive. Social contracts, good things, launches, and social emotional support for students. Areas for growth, we still need to work on getting our students more empowered in like a leadership role with Capturing Kids' Hearts, and also utilizing the social contract and 4 questions in effective ways. I think we still need to work on that. And I'm going to turn it over to our amazing Jennifer Carr. She has been helping us with our professional learning communities, and we've got a lot of momentum about that, so we're excited to share about that.
Thank you so much. Good evening, President Kaminsky, members of the board, Superintendent Lynch, and members of the public. As Mrs. Bailey mentioned, my name is Jennifer Carr. I'm the Learning Director at Golden Hills. One of our site focus for this year, site foci, has been professional learning communities. Back in October, our leadership team and I attended a 3-day PLC Institute to gain common knowledge and develop a plan for implementing this initiative at our school site. Prior to that, our site admin team, teachers and instructional services have built a strong foundation for this work, so we're really excited to take it to the next step. Professional learning communities is an ongoing process in which educators work collaboratively in reoccurring cycles of collective inquiry and action research to achieve better results for the students they serve. And the key part of that is the collective teacher efficacy. According to John Hattie's often cited research, the #1 most impactful practice on student achievement is collective teacher efficacy. And like Mrs. Bailey said, we're really building momentum and excited to take that work forward. So the big 3 ideas of PLCs are a focus on learning, a collaborative culture and collective efficacy, and a results orientation. Grade level teams, along with our RTI teacher, RSP teacher, and myself, meet once a week during Pump It Up PE to meet collaboratively. Teachers also meet during early release time. During this time, we plan for instruction, analyze a lot of student data, evaluate and share effective teaching practices, and identify students who are in need of intervention as well as extension. During these meetings, we work on the 4 critical questions of the PLC, and those are: what do we want students to be able to do, know and be able to do? How will we know if they have learned it? How will we respond when some students do not learn it? And what will we do for those students who have already demonstrated proficiency? So really meeting all the needs of the students and doing that collectively. We'd like to take a moment to acknowledge our PLC Guiding Coalition, which is comprised of our grade level team members. Pictured here are these leaders, along with our admin team, have been working really hard to implement and learn about the PLC process and really hope to see some significant outcomes in terms of student learning. Our Guiding Coalition has been engaging in a professional book study on learning by doing, which our team is leading during leadership meetings. And they're applying this learning to lead their teams and positively impact student achievement. We have that one picture from, the previous slide. Thank you, Mr. Crum. From the Institute, it's someone digging in the soil, and it talks about tilling the soil. And so a lot of thought has been put into this process. The leadership team and I developed a plan at the conference, and we came back, and we've really been tilling the soil and building that momentum for this work.
So we really hope that as a district, we move this direction. PLC work will help us to collectively improve student achievement as teacher teams are empowered to leverage their collective efficacy by using the most effective instructional strategies. So we've also been having a lot of fun at Golden Hills, working hard and having fun. This is our race to inflate attendance. So this idea came from our marvelous vice principal, Mrs. Spoden. So we've encouraged and implemented many student attendance incentives, and this is one of our popular ones. So each month, the teachers from the grade level with the highest attendance percentage have the opportunity to race in inflatable costumes and win the monthly class trophy. And this does seem to have made a difference. Our attendance has increased by 3% compared to last year, which is some good progress. This is some of our PBIS events. We continue to do lunch with the principal, weekly Friday raffles, Eagle Express, which is now a delivery system, because we are tight on space, and quarterly events such as our Leprechaun Bingo and Dance Party. By earning Eagle Eggs from staff and teachers, students are then able to participate in these events. And as mentioned earlier, we had an awesome Special Olympics event in December. It was pretty fun and pretty amazing. And Read Across America is a wonderful event that we have at Golden Hills. We have grown this event over the years as we continue inviting community members such as TPD, the fire department, scientists, authors, district board members. So thank you for coming and helping, and more who visit and read to our students. So all of our students receive their very own book that day, and we are thankful for all the community support. And then we've also had some really successful family nights. So this is our family STEAM night. And I'm going to hand it over to Jen.
Oh, sure. Thank you. In early April, we hosted our 3rd annual Family STEAM Night. Last year, it was known as the Family Math Night, so we were excited to expand it to include science, technology, engineering, and art. Families filled our cafeteria and engaged in many hands-on stations. Families played math games, they participated in hands-on science demonstrations, made art with origami and tessellations, and built marvels of engineering with snack items and toys. It was quite impressive. Each of our students took home a STEAM kit with math games, decks of cards, dice, a catapult building kit. We let them take those home. We didn't keep them at school, and other fun STEAM activities. So we're excited to continue this tradition.
All right, we're just about done. We just had Family Mental Health Night last week, and it was very successful. Our fabulous social worker helped plan and facilitate this, and we had a guest speaker, Kaylin Carr, who talked about what excess screen time does to the developing brain, and talk to kids and parents about the importance of POWER. So that acronym stands for play, outdoors, work, which means chores, and engage and read. So those are the things that students should be doing rather than being on screens so much. So This kind of goes to explain our bulletin board. Our dream team is changing the world. So if you have an opportunity to check out the writing and the art over there, all about Earth Day and also about people who have changed the world, I definitely recommend that you do that. And we'll leave with this quote: "Education is the most powerful weapon in which we could use to change the world." And that is from Nelson Mandela. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Bailey, and your two, I won't say helpers, I know they're your right and left arm. TAT update?
Good evening, President Kaminsky, members of the school board, Superintendent Lynch, and members of the public. My name is Val Bowman, and I am president of the Tehachapi Association of Teachers. Today at JMS is one of those days, thank God, are few and far between, and I hope never in my career that I have to experience it again. All right, spring is in the air, and sometimes it feels like summer too, but today is neither one of those days. Everyone is ready for the warm weather to stay, and it might be because hotter days signify the end of the academic year. It means it's close to the end, and everybody feels it. The May Revise comes out tomorrow, and I was invited to go with other association presidents to Sacramento to meet with people in the legislature to discuss AB 65, which is the Pregnancy Leave Act. This will allow women, after giving birth, they'll get paid leave without burning up all their sick leave. Because when women retire in education, they're about $100,000 less than men. And the continued funding of Prop 98. The hope is that the Leave Act passes this time. Last year it just sat and it didn't go anywhere. And that funding remains strong with Prop 98. Many cherished teachers are retiring, as are many longstanding TAT members and longtime friends. I owe a very public word of thanks to Lisa Archie, who left, but who for the past 5 years has been such an asset to TAT and especially to me. She's a vast wealth of knowledge, an ear to bend, and a friend I will miss talking to almost every day. I must admit I'm a shush bit jealous. I will envy all of those retirees sleeping in on the first day of school and being on their own schedules, but I remember those remaining behind have students to teach and minds to expand. Speaking of minds expanding, the opposite happened last week when students followed a ridiculous TikTok trend. Several students made unwise choices and intentionally attempted to harm students and staff by sparking or attempting to spark or burn the lithium batteries in Chromebooks. They shoved pieces of mechanical pencils or other items into the charging ports. Every single item in public schools has to be maintained and cared for because they have to last. But things do not last when they are not used for their intended purposes. Taxpayers cannot get their money's worth when students do not understand their responsibilities and are not held to appropriate punishments. Destroying property is a violation of Ed Code 48900F. Endangering lives is a violation of Ed Code 48900A. And causing all-day disruption says more about the students than the actual punishment that some of them received. Research has shown when earning an education is treated as a profession, school sites produce students who can use their imaginations to drive thinking forward. When behavioral parameters are set and explained and reinforced, for example, respect for oneself, one's peers, and adults, dressing like you're going to work instead of wearing pajamas and slippers, or being Coachella chic, coming to school, getting to class on time, understanding the validity of subject matter and how grades are earned, and they should be higher than D's and F's. And students are held to those expectations by parents, the school site, the district office, the school board, everybody, immature and destructive behaviors may lessen. No student has the right to create an unsafe workplace, no matter their designation. School sites know the correct punishment to give because of daily positive and negative interactions and should be supported. In turn, this supports the classroom teacher, who is the first line of defense when inappropriateness occurs. It's like an inverted pyramid. Willful intent without consequences will result in the district being liable for injuries. TAT wants to see that potential settlement money go towards other things like absorbent paper towels, Bahoot, scope, raises. This is all I have to say. So thank you. Have a great night.
Thank you, Ms. Bowman. CSEA update? Seeing none, we'll go to board communications. Any board member wish to share comings and goings?
I have a comment.
Mr. Napier.
I don't know if she's still here or not, but yesterday I was invited to be a guest speaker at Ms. Sandell's class for the 8th grade students in her careers class. And even though I've raised middle school kids and had middle school kids, I was incredibly nervous. I speak in public all the time, but it was like, oh my gosh, the most scary day for me. But it was an honor to be able to talk to the kids about the trades of my profession and what we do. And for those of you who work at the middle school, bless you. For those of you who work in any school, bless you. Insane job. I was exhausted at the end of the day. I only spoke for 4 classes, and I was like, I was done. I was totally out. But just when you think that middle school kids they all make dumb choices, my kids included, but the amount of questions that these kids had, and very engaging. I mean, some of the questions were like, I was literally caught off guard. I was shocked at how engaged they were. So it was awesome. So Miss Sandell, I'm not sure if she's still here, but thank you for inviting me. It was awesome and a super fun experience and a great day. So thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Napier. Anyone else? Clerk Wood.
I went to the Special Olympics at Tompkins, Mrs. Ray, Mrs. Mackey, the staff and everything. It was amazing. The kids had such a great time. It was really well done. So I had a great time. Thank you.
Anyone else? I had a visit. It's been a number of years since I've seen my brothers-in-law. One's 84 and the other one's about 65. The older one they both were amazed at how clean JMS was, and Tila. And my older brother-in-law went to THS where Tila is now. Just leave it like that. And my brother-in-law went to high school when THS was at where JMS is now. But the condition and the changes that have happened since they were in school was pretty amazing. Okay, next item is public comments. Public comments will be allowed. The board president will recognize any member of the audience wishing to speak on items not on the agenda, but directly related to school business. Pursuant to Board Bylaw 9323, the board may limit comments to no more than 3 minutes per person. Public comment will also be allowed on each specific item prior to board action. The president may allot time to those wishing to speak, but no action will be taken on matters presented, and no discussion of non-agenda items will occur. If appropriate, the president or any member of the board may direct that the matter be referred to the superintendent's office for placement on a future agenda. And first up is Jessica Smith, and just for the audience to know, Jessica has 2 items to speak on. I've already spoke to her at the break, and she's going to get 3 minutes for the first one and 3 minutes for the second one. Ms. Smith.
Thank you. Good evening, members of the board, superintendent, and community members. At our last board meeting, there was no public discussion regarding the status of school social workers. This is concerning as this issue had been brought up at the last 2 prior board meetings, and many community members and educators were speaking in support of retaining both Michelle Anderson at Golden Hills Elementary and Carrie Colby at Jacobson Middle School. Tonight, I'm here to share an update with the public and express my concerns regarding the outcome. We were told that the district office had come up with a solution regarding these Vital II positions. So the issue did not need to be publicly addressed last month. But the reality is that the solution, while it may check a technical box, is far from amicable for the individuals directly affected. It was my understanding, and I believe the intent of the board, that both Ms. Anderson and Mr. Colby would be retained in their current capacities, continuing their critical work with students. A reasonable solution had been proposed by multiple supporters to simply reclassify their positions as mental health clinicians. This would have preserved both jobs as they were, continuing vital mental health support on our campuses without major disruption. However, this practical and professional solution was dismissed. Instead, Mr. Colby's title is being changed to school counselor, a title based on a 1996 job description. It is unclear why this change is permissible without flying the job, but a similar change in title to mental health clinician was deemed unacceptable. This inconsistency doesn't make sense, and it creates confusion about how these decisions are being made. Even more concerning is Ms. Anderson's situation. She is being told that she must return next year only as an independent contractor due to credentialing technicalities. This carries significant personal and professional disadvantages. She will no longer get retirement benefits next year. Her health coverage under COBRA is only temporary, and while it is $500 less than the lowest plan on Covered California, it is still a financial burden. And she potentially loses access to her 377 hours of accumulated sick time unless she chooses to retire now, which then may limit her future opportunities within our district. According to CalPERS, the district can allow that sick time to remain on the books until she retires. This is a choice, and one that should be made in support of a dedicated employee who has served our students faithfully. Let me be clear, I am relieved that both of these professionals will still be working with our students. By the way we are retaining them, piecemeal, inconsistent, and at a cost to their dignity and well-being is not a true solution. It sends a message that their roles, their qualifications, and their dedication are negotiable. This is especially troubling given the recent tragedy our school community suffered just days ago, right on the campus of where one of these professionals serves. These are exactly the moments when a trained mental expert are not just valuable, they are essential. We cannot afford to alienate or undervalue them. So tonight, I urge this board and the district to consider the broader impact of these decisions, not only on Ms. Anderson and Mr. Colby, but on the students, families, staff who rely on them. We must do better than a short-term patch. We must ensure that these professionals are retained in a way that respects their contributions, protects their futures, and reflects the values of our district. Thank you.
As soon as the clock's ready, you can start with your other one.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Again, thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak tonight. At the last board meeting, it was stated that the matter of the RTI positions did not need to further have discussion, as a solution had been reached to retain RTI teachers at both Tompkins and Golden Hills Elementary Schools. I want to begin by expressing my appreciation for that effort. Our literacy specialists play a crucial role in supporting student growth, and maintaining those positions is essential. However, I do want to clarify and raise a concern. While a solution was proposed to fund these positions using general education funds, we are in fact still drawing from Title I funds to support these RTI roles. I would like to see the issue continued to address more directly in the future. The continued reliance on Title I to fund intervention positions limits our ability to extend equitable support to all elementary schools in the district, especially the one who is only 22 students away from qualifying as a Title I school. I would appreciate seeing the district take further steps towards equity by ensuring that all schools, regardless of their Title I designation, have access to essential support personnel like RTI teachers and literacy specialists. Every student in our district deserves access to the resources that they need in order to succeed. That brings me to another important point. The decision to retain RTI roles came at the cost of the learning director position at Golden Hills Elementary, specifically a position held by Jen Carr. Jen is not only a highly effective educator, but also an outstanding leader and teammate. Her support for our professional learning community and her commitment to instructional growth and her tireless work to elevate both teacher and student success at Golden Hills has been invaluable. She was offered the learning director role at the high school despite not having a background in secondary education or the credentials to support high school math instruction, which was a key expectation in the role. This wasn't presented as a collaborative decision or a discussion. It was simply the solution presented. Understandably, she declined, not because of her unwillingness to serve, but because she recognized she could not be effective in that role without the proper qualifications. An alternative proposal to share her leadership between Golden Hills and Tompkins was put forward and ultimately dismissed. While I'm glad that we found a way to retain RTI teachers, it is important to acknowledge the cost of that decision. Losing someone of Jen Carr's caliber and influence is a significant loss for our students, our staff, and our culture. I hope that moving forward, the district will engage in more collaborative conversations when making decisions that affect individual professionals and the broader school community. I also urge the board to prioritize long-term solutions that promote both equity and sustainability, especially when it comes to how we fund and support intervention programs across all schools. Thank you for your time and your continued commitment to our students.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. Brianna Schultz. As you come up, Ms. Schultz, you have two as well. And we'll do the same thing as we did with Ms. Smith. And if you want to do your PTO update first. Thank you.
Did I just turn it off? Thank you, everyone. Thanks for the opportunity to speak. I'm standing here on behalf of the Golden Hills Parent-Teacher Organization to give you guys an update on what we've been doing. We've been working hard with first and second grade, and we recently put on our school family dance. With the help of first and second grade, family volunteers, teacher volunteers, we raised over $2,000, which funded field trips for over 200 kids. We were just so excited that we were able to work together with the grades to meet their unmet needs specifically. And we look forward to doing that in the future. We just finished up staff appreciation, where we were able to stock the teacher's lounge with an ice maker, and a water purification system is coming. We purchased books for every student so they could take them home and keep them, allowing them to celebrate Read Across America at home as well as in school. We are looking forward to our book fair, which is coming up at the end of May, and we're excited to work with the new superintendent and build a relationship with him. I just want to take this opportunity to recognize the teachers, staff, and admin at Golden Hills Elementary who pour their heart and soul into teaching our children, and we're privileged as parents to work with these wonderful people to support our students and our staff. So thank you, and thank you guys. You're the best.
Okay, and he'll reset the clock, and then you can do your second one.
You're good to start. Thank you. So I'm standing here for my two special needs children. I'm also standing here as a voice for many parents who have voiced their frustrations and concerns and yet are unable to stand here tonight for fear of retaliation. I'm here to shine a light on the actions of Special Education Director Mr. Mock and his mistreatment of special needs students and families and their advocates. Mr. Mock systematically and systemically bullies, manipulates, and lies to parents and advocates. Mr. Mock manipulates families by disregarding court orders and attempts to get the families alone without their attorneys, pushing them to drop their lawsuits in exchange for handshake deals. In IEP meetings, Mr. Mock bulldozes over parents and advocates, talking over and talking louder in an effort to drown out all opposition. Mr. Mock retaliates against advocates, lodging personal attacks and making unfounded complaints to their employers. You have been placed on notice of Mr. Mock's illegal and unethical behavior. With every due process lawsuit, you have been placed on notice. With every dollar you spend paying the attorneys for the families of these children, you are put on notice. With every civil rights complaint, you are placed on notice. Failing to act on this turns you, our school board, into culpable partners in this misjustice. You are employing a man who is exposing you and the district to liability of an untold amount. But more importantly, you are employing a man who is placing our most vulnerable students at risk. I appreciate your time, and as a mother of these children, I hope you understand the passion and fire that is in me, and myself and all the others in my same situation are more than happy to give further information, but there is ample legal notice. Going forward, there is no way to claim ignorance. 100%. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Schultz. Jennifer Jolly.
Good evening, members of the board and everyone present. I'm so glad the TikTok challenge was brought up because my name is Jennifer Jolly and I'm here tonight as a parent deeply concerned and heartbroken over how this district has handled the false accusation and arrest of my 15-year-old son, Zayden Bunt, a student at THS. What has happened to him is not only a gross failure in due process, it is an alarming miscarriage of justice. Zayden was publicly humiliated and arrested on campus for an incident the administration had no credible evidence that he committed. In fact, several student statements were submitted clearly stating that Zayden was not the one responsible. Despite this, he was treated as guilty from the start. Even more disturbing is the fact that a vice principal at THS falsely stated that Zayden confessed to the incident. This is not true. My son never confessed to anything because he had nothing to confess to. This lie was used to justify extreme disciplinary action, including involving law enforcement, which led to his arrest and criminal processing. I cannot begin to describe what it's like as a parent to hear that a school administrator has fabricated a confession to support a narrative that contradicts all available evidence. After the fact, a student personally came forward and reported that another student had been bragging about tampering with a laptop, the same device involved in this incident that got my son arrested. The student who tampered with the Chromebook was then brought into the office for falsifying their statement against my son. His words, not mine. The student is going around saying that he got in trouble for falsifying his statement. Still, nothing has been done to correct the record or to clear Zayden's name. Even more troubling is that the same information was reported not only to the administration, but also to the school resource officer, and still no action has been taken. I've emailed you, Superintendent Lynch, asking a straightforward question. What are the official policies and procedures for handling accusations like this? Your responses have been vague, generic, and dismissive. They have provided no transparency, no clarity, and certainly no accountability. In fact, you couldn't be bothered to reply to my last email, and neither could any of the admin from JMS or THS. Meanwhile, my family received a bill from the district. I believe that is the only thing I have ever seen the district expedite action on. Was this situation even investigated properly? All evidence points to no. Let's also be honest about the inequity here. 4 other students committed the same act my son was accused of. Their involvement was confirmed. Yet they were not arrested nor expelled and did not face the level of punishment Zayden did. He is not an adult. He is a 9th grader. He is not much older than the kids at JMS. But my son was accused of arson, booked, fingerprinted, and photographed. And even though the evidence shows he didn't do it, nothing has been done to make this right. Mr. Lynch, you said the district considers a student's background when making disciplinary decisions. So let me remind you who my son is. Zayden was the mascot at JMS because he was trusted enough to do so. When a pipe burst in a room, he held it together without being asked for 2 hours to prevent the room from flooding.
Ms. Jolly, your time's been up. If you
I give to Tiffany.
I'm taking over. When a pipe burst in a room, he held it together.
Tiffany,
for
could you
2
state your
hours.
full name for the record?
Yes, my name is Tiffany Davidson. I'm also known as Tiffany Arnold.
Thank you.
He was soaked in filthy water and rewarded with a cup of M&Ms, a $5 Starbucks gift card, and apparently the mistrust of the district. He's never had a single disciplinary issue at THS. He's known throughout the district as a kind, helpful, and positive presence. And yet he was treated like a criminal, while the truth has been and continues to be ignored. This district has not only failed my son, it has broken his trust and mine. You've allowed a lie to go unchecked. You've allowed bias and poor judgment to overrule facts. And worst of all, you've remained silent while an innocent student continues to suffer the consequences of your inaction. You may continue to ignore my emails. You may hope this fades from the public view, but let me be clear. I will not be silent. I will continue speaking up until Zayden's name is cleared, until those responsible are held accountable, and until policies are changed to prevent this from ever happening to another student. In light of all the recent events, I am even more convinced that none of our children are safe in this district's care. Thank you for your time. I hope you begin using yours to do what is right.
Paulette Mirabella.
Hi, my name is Paulette Mirabella, and I'm here on an issue about that happened with my daughter at Golden Hills School. I had gone to pick her up because she's usually a bus rider that rides home, but we had to be in Bakersfield before a certain time. As I was approaching the bus area where they wait for the buses because they were not there, my oldest daughter came up behind me because she's in 5th, so she gets released later. And she was like, "Oh, I didn't know you were here." She went and I was like, "Yeah, go get your sisters. And my grandson, and we're gonna be leaving because we're going to Bakersfield." She ran into the holding area, and they were like with a little boy. 3 of them broke off, and one of my daughters was there. And she was looking down at a book a little boy was holding. They didn't see anything. I did not cross into that area because I know parents are not allowed there. So out of that, a parent volunteer came to get her son, and she grabbed my daughter by the shoulder and shoved her to the side. I don't understand what the reasoning was. I didn't hear anything happen. My daughter came out and was like, "Wow, did you see that? She just shoved me." And I was like, "Yeah, did she say anything to you?" She's like, "No." And so I did call the front office, and I did approach the situation. I was told that they would get that to the bottom of it, talking to the other person that was involved and my daughter. So then they get a call back, and I was told that the person I was actually told that confidentiality would be held if I did not want her to apologize to me. And I was like, I was told that her side of the story, that's not what happened. Her son was in a group of kids, or whatever. But the fact is that I was actually standing at the gate, and I saw it with my own eyes. There were no more than this distances from here. And so I was like, well, she can save her apology because obviously she's lying. I don't even care to hear it. I want to hold confidentiality. So then come to find out, like several days later, more than a handful of people are calling me, texting me like, "Hey, what happened with this situation? We heard you were in the car. You didn't actually see it. So where was the confidentiality breached here?" So I was like, actually, I was right by the gate. Just a full disclosure, if that parent was on the other side of the gate, she would have got shoved back. I'm just saying, don't touch my daughter. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, it's illegal for you guys to touch kids without an incident report on what the situation is. So why is this parent volunteer? First of all, her son's not a bus goer. She was there. Why was she even in the bus area? Okay. Second, why is she even laying hands on a student? Third, my daughter said it, but because it was discredited, because this person is what she is in the school district, they are saying that, oh, maybe it was a misunderstanding, whatever it is. The point is that the fact that if I didn't see it with my own eyes, would anyone believe my daughter? And that's not okay with me, all right? So the thing is, if she's a volunteer and she crossed these lines, why is she still a volunteer? And that's the main issue for me. If volunteers break regulations and rules, shouldn't their status of volunteering or being allowed into that school be revoked? I don't understand.
Paulette, your time's up.
Yeah.
If you want to just
I'll wrap it up. I think
give a couple
volunteers
sentence wrap
should-
up. I know there's another item on
Volunteer
here.
time should have a time and designation. They should not be able to roam the school. They should go straight to where they're supposed to and leave. I don't understand where they get free reign suddenly to roam everywhere. And then, of course, our privacy protection policies, obviously that was breached, and it came back to me. And I was given it's a small town. That's not an excuse for me. Thank you.
Thank you. And Paulette, one item you have on your report that you didn't get to, I'll ask Superintendent Lynch to,
I'm sorry, what was that?
you had one more item here, but you ran out of time.
Oh, yeah, I did ask
and-
to see the video footage, and I was told that
I'll talk to
I couldn't do that.
Mr. Superintendent Lynch
To have me do that.
to see
Yeah, to
what
view
can be
it.
done. Yeah.
Absolutely, thank you.
Carrie Soderstrom.
Still on, okay. Hello, you might remember me a few months ago. I'm just going to finish up my speech as I ran out of time. I left off, I was speaking about the conduct of Bonnie Porter and Tay Mock. And I want to echo what Brianna had mentioned earlier tonight. And I left off with Bonnie Porter trying to strip my son of all of his IEP accommodations. And what she had done is also threatened my son with predetermination expulsion, as well as stating she would make it happen, and this is a quote, because she was on the committee or knew others that would be on the committee in a recorded IEP meeting. At this time, I want to read to you the findings of the independent OCR, the federal OCR department, which had done an investigation. And before I read that quote, I want to let you know that they found in absolute agreement with us that our son was not only discriminated against, but a complete violation of my son's civil rights had occurred. My son had gone through was an overt and egregious misconduct, and this investigator had said he had never seen it in his 20-year career from what he told myself and my advocate. In 20 years of conducting investigations, he had never seen administrators at this level of seniority in a district act in such a shocking way against children. That alone should warrant an investigation into her conduct and her employment in this district. Bonnie Porter should suffer the consequences of her own actions, as it has been thoroughly investigated and documented by a federal agency. There is no misunderstanding, and there's no brushing this under the carpet. The investigator had said, quote, that he wanted to, quote, require the district to remove and exclude Dr. Porter from my son's IEP or any group of knowledgeable individuals created to have involvement in his education, prohibiting her from providing substantive information about my son to the IEP team or anyone else involved in his education, special education services, or accommodations, modifications he receives, his receipt of any accommodations or modifications, or the provision of FAPE to him. The exclusion and prohibitions would remain in effect until I consent in writing. This is a federal investigator that was so adamant about what he saw and heard on these recordings. And as of now, the district with the OCR has already passed the 90-day deadline of negotiations. And that puts this district as a huge liability, as Brianna had mentioned earlier.
Ms. Soderstrom, the 3 minutes is up. If you could conclude.
Sure. I also wanted to let the public know on record here that they are telling parents that it is, that students cannot attend TILA if they have IEP meetings, and they continue to do so to this day. And if any of the parents are listening to me on this recording, that is an illegal statement, and we all need to start speaking up. I have heard from 35 families with IEPs that are dealing with Mr. Mock and Dr. Porter. They are so upset and fearful of retaliation. 35. This district has to do something. This board has to do something. Please hold them accountable. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we had one form left, and so the three people that wanted to talk, if you want to go separately, that's fine. I'll just call the first one up, Scott McKern.
He's not here, he actually left.
Okay, Jessica Guevara Denny. I'm assuming you're Sophie Rodriguez? Okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you want to do it separate, or you going to do?
No, it's separate, yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of the same thing. We're not professional speakers, but.
Oh, that's all right.
You know, it's.
I've
you
been
know,
accused of not being.
Thank you for hearing us out a little bit. I can't stay silent anymore about this. I've had kids go from kindergarten through 12th grade in this district, and I've stayed silent too long. I have one more to go, and he's the biggest, kindest-hearted child that will stick up for anybody being bullied. But it can't just be the kids sticking up for themselves or for each other. We need to make a difference, and you guys are the only ones that can do it. I know you've heard it. I know you see it every day at school. These teachers need backup. There's only so many that even give a shit about these kids that are being bullied. They have nowhere to go. I have your own staff saying they don't understand. They brought it to the attention of, the office, the school, trying to make a difference, and nothing happens. Nothing happens. I feel like there's no trust. These kids have no trust in any of these so-called counselors. The only one I can say that has done anything for me has been Miss Carr, has been Miss Anderson. And to lose any part of them, these kids, that's all they have. People like them. Your own, and I'll say one, Miss Eberly, or not, I'm sorry, Miss Drury, or whatever you want to call her name, she told me straight to my face, cutting is an epidemic. It's just for show. It's just, that's exactly what was told to me when I went to her and I said, my daughter is cutting herself. Her friends, there's friends of hers coming to me, cutting themselves. I sat up throughout the night with the little girl, trying to get her to not throw up her food she just ate because of the bullying. From cheerleaders, the drugs, the sex, the videos, you've all seen it. Nothing happens. Why? Because their parents work for you. Because they're a part of your staff. It's who they know. And it's a small town. I get told that way too often when it comes to bullying, when it comes to kids are kids, kids will be kids. No, it starts, if they can't trust you, who are they going to trust? Who are we going to be there for? There's no communication with parents either. Your communication, their communication sucks. There's so many incident reports that I think should have been made that my kids come home and say that nothing's being made, nothing's happening here. The bullying at Golden Hills Elementary School, it is an elementary school for Pete's sake. What is going on? These kids are having to threaten in order to make a difference, for them to be seen, for them to be heard, because there's no one else wants to hear it. There's no time. There's too much paperwork. That came from THS, athletic director. Oh, take it up with the coach. Take it up with the parent. I don't want to do the paperwork. What is that? That's ridiculous. And I'm sorry for my tone and I'm sorry for my voice, but my heart is sad for this little girl that maybe if somebody would just have opened their eyes and see that she was hurting. That's your job, is to see that these kids are hurting. You guys are taught how to see things beyond what we can see or what they want to show us. They don't know how to express because there's no taught. Let's run around in animal costumes for attendance. What about setting up assemblies and showing them real life? What happens to those that bully? What happens to those that get bullied? There's none of that. Where is it? Where's the drunk driving assembly that shows you don't drink and drive, and this is why? Don't put that alcohol in your coffee you're bringing to school this morning. Don't put that in your lunchbox.
Ma'am, your time's up.
Well,
And-
she's going to continue on.
Yeah, that's fine.
And it's so quick, you guys make a time limit on things like this, of important situations like this, because it's not costing you money to fix it.
Well-
A Chromebook costs you money.
Okay.
That's why you care.
Before you said that, I was going to, and I'll still say it, I am going to direct Superintendent Lynch to give us, the board, more information.
I'll gladly sit with you and give you all the things you want to hear and prove.
Okay, Ms. Rodriguez?
Hi, thank you for having me. I am a lot calmer. Just to bank off, what she's been saying, that's why I'm here, hearing what had happened recently. I've been part of PTO since Golden Hills. I'm now at JMS, and it was just heartbreaking to see what happened to this little girl. But yes, it's a small town. I come from a big town, so I don't, it hits a lot harder. And to continuously hear this and see no action from the school district. Banking off, I didn't even know this, but hearing Ms. Smith saying that our counselors are being fired or let go or being placed other places, we need these counselors. These kids need these counselors. I, as a parent, do my best. I have an open relationship with my son. He comes to me and tells me every day there's a fight at JMS. These kids are posting it on social media. Nobody's doing anything, and it's causing our kids to kill themselves. It's disgusting, honestly. We need your guys' help too. They're with you guys a majority of the time. I can't speak for every parent, but I know what I do in my household, and I think that's why my son feels comfortable to come and tell me everything that's going on. Just like she said, kids are vaping, kids are at that such age, junior high, sexually active, drugs. I feel like nothing is being done. Like, I remember junior high, trust me, I do. So I'm not backing them up completely. But all of this has gotten to an all-time high. Like I said, I've been part of PTO, so I'm part of being the parent, but I also see the teachers, the struggle they go through. I wanted to blame them first before I got into PTO, but being part of PTO allowed me to see what the teachers are dealing with too. They need your guys' backup. You guys hold everything here, but you're not doing anything. Nope. That's why I'm here. I cut off all my clients today, and I'm like, I gotta go to this meeting after what I just heard about this little girl. And then to hear all these other things about other teachers hurting our kids from one high school, then he gets transferred over working at JMS. Like, what is this? What is going on? You guys need to make this right. And we're going to continue coming. At this point, we're fed up. We're fed up as parents. I want to give you guys your position to do something right. But at this point, like I said, I've been here 7 years now, and this has been nonstop. And I just couldn't take it anymore. That's why I'm here. Whatever we're going to have to do, if we have to come here every month, that's what we're going to do. If I need to gather up more parents for you guys to move your guys behind, that's what I'm going to do. That's my time.
Thank you, ladies. Item 7, consent agenda. In order to promote efficient meetings, the board may bundle a number of items and act upon them together by a single vote through the use of a consent agenda. Consent items shall be items of a routine nature and items for which board discussion is not anticipated and for which the superintendent recommends approval. When any board member requests the removal of an item from the consent agenda, the item shall be removed and given individual consideration for action as a regular agenda item. Are there any items on the consent agenda any trustee wishes to pull for separate consideration? Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as submitted?
Keeley, make the motion.
Second.
It was moved by Vice President Kelly and seconded by Trustee Napier. The board approved the consent agenda as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Superintendent Lynch, you have, it's your turn up. First item is approval of board policies.
Alrighty, we have 27, I believe, updated policies that are in your packet. Those are from the CSBA policy manual updates. Most of them have minor, if any, changes, such as updates to contacts or annual selections of one or a few options. They have been, what's been submitted has those options selected or the contacts filled in. So it is recommended that we approve the list of board policies as submitted.
Any questions or comments from the board on the policies? With that, I need a motion to approve the agreement between, oops.
I move.
Written wrong, approve the board policies.
I so move.
Kelly, a second.
It was motioned by Trustee Christensen, seconded by Vice President Kelly to approve the board policies as submitted. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Number 2, approval of memorandum of understanding between Tehachapi Unified School District and California School Employees Association number 466, lunch/break coverage for autism specialist, Mod Severe, SKIA paraeducator. Mr. Lynch.
So this is in regards to a MOU that will cover the, when we created the new job title in the district of the, for autism specialist paraeducators or SKIAs. We don't have anybody at that same level who can break some of them for lunch or for their breaks during the day. So other paraeducators are being asked to cover for them. It is a higher pay range for the SKIA. So this is just an agreement that allows those who do cover a lunch to submit a timesheet for the difference between their pay and the SKIA autism specialist pay for that time period for breaks or lunches.
All right,
And
any
it is
questions or
recommended
comments
we
from the
approve.
board? Do I have a motion for the board to approve the memorandum of understanding between Tehachapi Unified School District and California School Employees Association number 466 for lunch break coverage for autism specialist, Mod Severe, SKIA paraeducator as presented?
Kelly, make the motion.
Second.
It was motioned by Vice President Kelly, seconded by Trustee Cooper, to approve the memorandum of understanding between Tehachapi Unified School District and California School Employees Association number 466 for lunch break coverage for autism specialist, Mod Severe, SKIA paraeducator as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Thank you, Superintendent Lynch. Mr. Intezari. Item number 1 for business is approval of the agreement between City of Tehachapi and Tehachapi Unified School District for annexation number 76.
Thank you, President Kaminsky. This item completes the final process for the Dennison Road Development Project. This would approve the dedication agreement that formally conveys the roadway assessment across district property to the City of Tehachapi. At the March 2024 meeting, the board endorsed the project and its financial terms, approving the MOU for this easement. So this essentially records the dedication and removes the title encumbrance and lets the city move the project to bid, fulfill the curb, gutter, sidewalk, bike path, and drainage upgrades that were originally promised in the original April 2000 MOU executed during the construction of Tehachapi High School. We seek your approval for this agreement.
Any questions or comments from the board? Do I have a motion for the board to approve the memorandum? Board to approve the agreement between the City of Tehachapi and Tehachapi Unified School District for annexation number 76 as presented.
Kelly, make the motion.
Second.
Motion by Vice President Kelly, seconded by Trustee Christensen. The board approved the agreement between City of Tehachapi and Tehachapi Unified School District for annexation number 76, All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Number 2, approval of the agreement between the University of California, San Francisco Campus Multitudes Program and Tehachapi Unified School District. Mr. Intezari.
Thank you, President Kaminsky. This agreement is in alignment with Education Code 53008, essentially requiring school districts to adopt an early literacy screening instrument by June 30, 2025. This is the instrument that was selected by the Instructional Services Department. They've selected Multitudes as the universal early literacy screener to meet the requirement. In preparation for implementation, training will be provided to staff responsible for administering the screener, ensuring consistency across participating districts. There's no cost to this district, no cost to the district for this screener, and we seek your approval.
Any questions or comments for Mr. Intezari?
I do. Have we figured out what job title will be?
I got excited because I know the answer. You
Can I
can finish.
finish? Do we know what job title will be responsible for administering this screening?
Yes, this would be done by the burst tutors, the instructional para burst tutors.
I appreciate the fact that you know the answer, and thank you for answering it.
I had the same question.
Any other questions or comments? Do I have a motion to approve the agreement between the University of California, San Francisco Campus Multitudes Program and Tehachapi Unified School District as presented?
I'll make the motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
It was motioned by Clerk Wood, seconded by Trustee Cooper. The board approved the agreement between the University of California, San Francisco Campus Multitudes Program and Tehachapi Unified School District. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion.
Kelly is opposed.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Motion carries 6-1. Number 3, approval of the bid package submitted by Black Hall Construction for bleacher replacement at the Tehachapi Education Center, Tehachapi Unified School District. Mr. Intezari.
Thank you, President Kaminsky. The district is seeking to award the bid to Black Hall Construction for submitting the lowest bid. We had 4 participants for the job walk and 2 submitted bids, with Black Hall Construction coming in at the lowest bid, responsive bid at $859,999. That includes installation of additional exterior doors for ADA ingress-egress, remodeling and expanding restrooms for ADA accessibility, parking revisions for ADA accessibility, which is the largest cost, other related site improvements such as the electrical upgrades required since the bleachers will be telescoping, installation of new fire alarm system in the gymnasium, and preparing the gymnasium wall for the bracing for the new bleachers. And we seek your approval for awarding the bid.
Any questions or comments from the board?
Yeah, I have a few
Trustee
questions.
Napier?
What sparked this project to take place?
So we had the Expanded Learning Opportunity Program is just a really well-funded program, and we had available resources. This is the same program that's had a lot of districts returning money to the California Department of Ed because they weren't able to spend it in the timeline. There's only so much stuff you could buy. We have limitations on the staffing since it's before and after school. So this is the same source of money that's paid for Boys and Girls Club, that pays for daycare staffing and a lot of the activities after school, before school, and then also after the school year. So we've had a lot of projects that we take on just kind of from a facility standpoint to kind of earn the trust and respect of the community, making sure that we use the funds that we have available creatively, making sure to bring some new life. We don't have into our facilities. We don't have a lot of construction or modernization money. You know, we have a little bit of maintenance money that we set aside, but this was just an opportunity to take advantage of a grant in order to better serve our students in the community just by bringing life to one of our most visible facilities that's used by the whether it's the high school, whether it's TILA, the Boys and Girls Club, or TVRPD and other community members, and make it available to the public. So through Dr. Bonnie Porter, she's the one responsible for Expanded Learning Opportunity Program, and she's been willing to invest in the facility to make sure that, you know, we can offer a good program and also just kind of bring pride that has been a really important thing as we've gone through a big facility input process.
Okay, so to be clear, this funding can only be used at that site.
Not specifically at that site, but this has been a project that we've been working towards for quite a while now. We started with redoing the floors and painting and the lobby, and then this has just been the last element. The bleacher, you can replace floors without going through DSA, but it's the kind of the bringing everything up to code part that is the most expensive for us, especially a facility that age. So, but yes, essentially the expanded learning program money can't be used for anything that's during the school day. It's before or after the school year.
Okay, I guess my main point is the middle school gym is used a whole lot more than that gym is ever used. And the bleachers are trashed, the floor is trashed. So every time I go by the Tila gym, I'm like, well, that's a bummer. We're investing money into this facility. Meanwhile, 20 kids use it after school, and then Park and Recreation uses it for their basketball program. So yes or no, can this money be used at other facilities for this type of a project? Could you replace the bleachers at Jacobs Middle School with this money? Yes or no?
No.
Okay.
But potentially,
you don't
if
seem very confident with that.
Well, because could you try, okay, so the Expanded Learning Opportunity Program, right, is supposed to be for K through 6. There, as time has gone on and the state sees that districts aren't using all the money or kind of running out of ways to use the money, they've started saying, okay, you can start to expand to 7th, you can kind of start expand to 8th. Currently, we wouldn't be able to because we do not use Jacobson Middle School for the Expanded Learning Opportunity Program. So then we would essentially be, that would be the breaking of the rules. Now, could you have planned to move that program to that gym and then find where those people need to go and then use that to justify the money? Sure, we can get kind of creative, but you would essentially be kicking everyone out of the gym most of the year, and we would be kind of more than beyond the gray. The state seems to approve shared use as long as it's not abusing the program, but that would just kind of be a stretch and really hard to justify. So to bring into context why we're not doing this at the middle school just yet is, so the bleachers cost $75,000. The architect and design, $13,000. The actual process of bringing everything up, similar to what we could expect at JMS, $860,000. So that's what makes it not feasible for us, because we're in a place of deficit spending. So this is just an element of trying to be creative. If we did not use this money on that gym, it does not free it up for JMS. The only reason I was hesitant is because could we sort of find a way? Yes, but it would be a huge disruption and really pushing the boundaries of the rules of the program.
Okay. The main reason I ask is because I've been at the middle school, well, was a student at the high school back in the day, and there's been effectively no upgrades to that facility in decades. So I get where you're coming from. I work in the world of grants where, you know, why are you building more sidewalks? Well, that's what the money's for. That's all we can do, right? So, but there's not a lot of people from the public here, but every time that you go to the middle school for basketball, volleyball, it's a train wreck. Those bleachers are terrible. It's very unsafe to sit there, to climb in and out of them. They're terrible. They're horrible. So it's one of those things, the message getting out to the public is we can't use that money for that right now. That's really what I'm getting at. And because every single parent that's there is just like, every time it's just like, oh my gosh, the floor is terrible, the bleachers are terrible, the gym is, the restrooms are terrible. You know, the whole thing is 50 years old or longer, but it hasn't been upgraded in decades. So yeah, it's getting old. So anyways, the next question is, the agenda item is written as approval of the bid package submitted by Blackhall Construction for bleacher replacement at Tehachapi Education Center, Tehachapi Unified School District. Okay, then in the board summary notes, it says The Wayne Bidders Black Hall Construction project includes all work, both direct and subcontracted, excluding the cost to remove and install the bleachers. So, I'm not the smartest guy around, but the way the agenda item is written is for replacement of the bleachers. And then the board summary note says excluding that. So what does that mean?
So they're preparing the bleachers, the 75,000 includes the removal and the installation. But this essentially brings everything up so that we can install the bleachers and have DSA approval in order to do so.
Okay. Do you understand why that seems a little oddly?
Oh, I asked the same question.
Oddly worded?
Yeah, so that's in looking into, I went back to look at the quote from Irwin Seating, I believe is the name of the company that provides the bleachers. I know it's Irwin, I don't recall the last part. But yes, it was a little under 75,000, which included the bleachers installation, removal of the old ones and installation of the new ones. But everything else that goes into preparing the space so that we can include the bleachers is what costs $859,000.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Trustee Christensen.
He took my question on that, but now he brought up another question for me because it says, under the title is approval of bid package submitted by Black Hall Construction for bleacher replacement at the school. Okay. I study words. This is what I did in the military. Okay, I watch this stuff. And if you go down under the rationale, like he said, it says both directed and subcontracted by Black Hall Construction. So, with that being said, what I'm reading there is that Black Hall Construction is subcontracting out the removal and installation of the current bleachers. Am I correct?
No. So Irwin is the company that is going to do the removal of the old bleachers and installing the new bleachers. The issue is that, and this is kind of why we're trying to be really transparent with the public, is that if it wasn't for those $75,000 bleachers that we wanted to, because the whole project is just around replacing the old bleachers at TEC and putting in new ones. But that the bleachers alone, $75,000. In order to qualify and get approval, it requires $859,000 worth of upgrades in the surrounding area in order to be able to do that.
Right, you got to renovate
So it's all
everything around
tied
it.
into the bleacher project. But, and that's kind of what's ridiculous in our world, right, is that I want to add bleachers. Okay, our work started as far as the parking lot and down to the bathrooms, and, less than 10% of the cost is related to bleachers, and 90% of the cost is related to upgrades and safety, and certainly understand why, right? If there was some sort of accident or reason that everyone in attendance would have to leave, we'd want to make sure that they can all leave safely. So these are kind of necessary, but at the same time, we certainly understand it's a large cost. It's just with prevailing wage as a government agency, those costs do add up really quickly.
So help me understand that we're looking at this one here, the approval for this package, for this bid package. Does that, in my mind, that means that there's going to be another one? It's already been approved, or it's lurking out there somewhere in the cosmos?
The bleacher portion?
For the bleacher, that you're going to come back in with that one, or it's already been, I may have missed it, it may have already been approved for the
Yes.
bleachers, but where do we fall with that? Where is that?
The bleachers have already been ordered and
Okay.
we anticipate the delivery to be in July.
Okay, so they're on standby, waiting for
They're being
Black Hall
constructed.
to renovate the building so that it can actually handle the new bleachers and the more bodies of people.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the reason we wanted to get a jump on it is because, like any construction project, right, timelines, the parts, the order of the operation, right? So those bleachers need to be delivered when it's the tail end of the project, when everything else has been set up. We wanted to get started as early as possible to make the gym available, if not by the start of the school year, at least by October, conservatively, but before the cold months and when, the inside space is more in demand.
Excellent. Okay, that was just my question. Thank you.
So just to be clear, the only other additional costs related outside of our own time and labor so far has just been the cost of the bleachers, the $75,000, and then the architect design, $13,000.
Any other questions or comments? Do I have a motion for the board to approve the bid package submitted by Black Hall Construction for bleacher replacement at Tehachapi Education Center, Tehachapi Unified School District, as presented?
I so move.
Kelly, a second.
It was motion by trustee Christensen, seconded by Vice President Kelly. The board approved the bid package submitted by Black Hall Construction for bleacher replacement at Tehachapi Education Center. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Item 4, approval of declaring certain district property as surplus obsolete, district office, and Tompkins Elementary School. Mr. Antazari.
Thank you, President Kaminsky. The district is seeking to surplus a broken chair and some books that are no longer needed at Tompkins Elementary School. To dispose of them, we seek your approval to declare the items surplus and properly dispose of them.
Any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, I need a motion for the board to approve of declaring certain district property as surplus obsolete at the district office and Tompkins Elementary School as presented.
Kelly, make the motion. Second.
It was motion by Vice President Kelly, seconded by Trustee Cooper, to approve the declaring of certain district property as surplus obsolete at Tompkins Elementary School in the district office. And this is a roll call vote. Ms. Barnes.
President Kaminsky.
Aye.
Vice President Kelly.
Aye.
Clerk Wood.
Aye.
Trustee Cooper.
Aye.
Trustee Christensen.
Aye.
Trustee Napier.
Aye.
Trustee Sweeney. Aye. Thank you.
Motion carries 7-0. Thank you, Mr. Intezari. Item 10, instructional services. Mrs. Paxton. First item is information item request for extended field learning experiences.
Per board policy 6153, all field trips that extend 100 miles or more beyond the boundaries of the school district shall be subject to the approval of the superintendent. Listed for the board's information is the superintendent's approval of the following field trip. TILA, all TILA students will be visiting Calico Ghost Town in Yermo, California on May 21st.
Thank you. I've been to Yermo with the math field day kids.
Oh, nice.
At the high school, not at Calico Ghost Town. All right, number 2, another information item, California Healthy Kids CHK update. Mrs.
Yes. So in February, we administered the California Healthy Kids Survey. You can go to the next slide. So students in grades 5, 7, 9, and 11 participated, as well as parents and staff were surveyed as well. Surveys were emailed to staff members, and surveys were sent out to parents via Parent Square multiple times. I will mention that 5th grade is a different model to participate in the survey. 5th grade is an opt-in model. So I sent home a permission slip, and parents have to send the permission slip back in order for 5th grade students to participate, while grades 7, 9, and 11 is an opt-out model. Data from the California Healthy Kids Survey is used in LCAP to monitor progress on goals and help us to develop actions. And then is also used by the school sites when they're developing their school plan. So what is really great news is our participation went up for elementary and secondary students. We had an increased participation of 21% of our 5th graders and 16% for secondary.
In fact, we had 93% of our middle school students who were eligible to participate did, which that's the best response rate we've ever had. And then 64% of our eligible students at the high school participated. So this was a really good survey for students. We had more participate than we typically do. Participation for staff and parents was slightly down. And I will say the largest respondent group for parents is elementary parents. So we just need to keep that in mind when we look at the results. So these are the responses from our fifth grade students. And we did have some areas of growth, social emotional learning supports, that had an increase of 13% compared to the previous year. Also, students reported that they were treated with respect, an increase of 3%. High expectations, the staff at the school, students felt like they had high expectations for their success. That grew about 3%. And then what was really a highlight here and has been a strength for TUSD is the home support and involvement, which actually exceeds the state average. So that is definitely a positive for our community. There were definitely areas that made me kind of wonder, I wonder what's going on, because when we get to secondary responses, we can see a difference. But we did have a decline in students' perception of school safety of 3%. Fairness, the way students felt like they were treated by others, a decline of 30%. And students reported that they're feeling bored while at school. That metric grew 15%. And then alcohol and drug use increased 3%. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that the students are using. It's just that it also includes their perception around alcohol and drug use.
Can you give me examples of some of those?
Yeah, so a question that they are asked is if you smoked a cigarette, would your friends think that was something terrible? And they give different responses. So it's the perception, and then it's also, it does ask, have you used a cigarette or vape? So there are those types of questions. But I will say that 3% of students that responded, which that represents about half, a little less than half of our elementary students, said that they have tried a cigarette, and 1% says that they have vaped. So there is that metric on there as well. Okay, thank you. Okay, for our secondary students, so in this metric, 88% of the responses are seventh grade students, 70% we had ninth grade, and 63% of our 11th graders participated. So it's a little bit heavily represented for middle school, but a lot to celebrate here. So every metric increased except high expectations, but that only just decreased by 1%. So it was pretty minuscule. Some of the really strong metrics, I felt like school connectedness grew 5%, academic motivation 6%, life satisfaction 2%, meaningful participation 5%, and we've talked about that. We've implemented learning circles, student listening circles, at all of our sites. But one thing has come up at our secondary sites in the past is that they didn't always feel that the assignments or the learning was meaningful. So I thought this was a really great metric because that is something that our sites have been focusing on. School safety, students felt like 5% increase there. They felt like school was safer. And school boredom decreased by 5%. So I thought this was very interesting because we're seeing differences in elementary and secondary. So something we definitely need to explore. Alcohol and drug use decreased by 2%. And then facilities upkeep, the students' perception of our facilities increased by 9%. So I thought there was a lot to celebrate. And each of our school sites gets their own report that's representative of their students' responses, so they're able to dig in a little bit deeper.
It's strikes me as very odd that the alcohol and drug use percentage is at the secondary, which is what I would expect,
So,
is
one of the questions.
is so much lower than elementary.
Well, and one of the questions talks about, have you seen somebody use like a vape on campus? And it made me think about those vape detectors that we have installed. We know that students being caught for vaping has decreased, so we might be seeing that result here as well. Okay, so this is the parent response. And as I mentioned earlier, 57% of the responses were from elementary parents. So the responses are a little bit skewed. And then 28% middle school parents, 15% high school. And again, every metric here was positive. But what's funny is except for facilities upkeep, which declined by about 2%. So, our secondary students are saying, oh, our facilities are looking better, and they are in the classroom, so that might be a different perspective where a lot of times parents are just seeing, when they're dropping off, picking up, going into the gym for different things. So I just thought that was interesting. And then our staff responses, we had 165 responses. 46% of those were from staff members that worked at elementary schools, and then the rest was split between middle and high school. 70% of the respondents were teachers, with the rest as classified staff members. So areas of growth, facilities upkeep. So our staff members are feeling like our facilities are looking better. We showed an increase of about 10%. Social emotional learning responsiveness, an increase of 6%. However, staff members did show some areas that declined. Learning environment, decrease of about 7%. The amount of caring adults on campus, a decline of about 4%. Students treated fairly, decline of 3%, and student safety, decline of 11%.
What kind of questions were there for student safety? Can you go back one slide, please? So we dropped 19%
So
in 2 years, which is
It actually is.
pretty heavy.
Do you feel like this school is safe for students? That's the question. So it's not, some of the areas are multiple question, this one is not.
Yeah, that's alarming, that's for sure.
Well, especially because, we have been making improvements for school safety, right? We have the cameras that are installed, our doors are locked, our practices that all classroom doors remain locked at the same time. So it just, it seems like that's something that we should inquire about, or what are people feeling are unsafe?
Yeah, as a parent, I don't think it's about the locking of the doors. It's not feeling safe with the students that they're with. I mean, we've heard multiple parents talk about it tonight, and it's been a recurring theme. So yeah, that's definitely something we need to be looking at. I don't think we should gloss over that and just kind of go, oh, it's just dropped a little bit. That's pretty substantial. If we're going to praise the good, we need to really be looking at the bad. And that's a very, very bad metric that we need to be paying attention to.
Yeah, and of course, that's why I mentioned that it was 11% from last year to this year. That is significant. It's a significant decline.
So what's the action plan, I guess, is the...
Well, we just received these scores.
I get that. I get that.
We dig in, and like I said, we have to break it down by site and dig in, because maybe it's more at the middle school. We heard a lot from the middle school parents about fights at middle school. Is it related to that? Is it perception that our campuses aren't safe? Or, as you mentioned, other students? So I don't know. We have to look at that.
So do you have a breakdown by site?
I have reports by site. I don't have it on this because this is
Right.
just the district report, but yes, we do have it by site.
Have you shared that with the principals yet, or?
Yes, because they're building their SIPSAS, so they use this for their SIPSAS and then also on their MTSS plan.
Could those reports be sent through the superintendent to the board?
Sure.
That'd be great.
If they're in the SIPSA, we have to approve them, so.
I have a quick comment to your point that it did drop. It also dropped from 2023 to 2024, like 9%, what were the action plans there? I don't need an actual response, but like that's something to think, because what we did clearly didn't work. It continued to decline. And as we create more and more awesome upgrades to keep the bad guys out, so to speak, it seems that the problem is that we're forgetting to look what's inside these four walls. So I definitely think that's something that we need to address, like ASAP.
And so part of your question was, is what have we done, right?
Well, and I don't need like an exact response now, but it's just something to think about when because you said you just got these results and you guys were going to have to dig deep. I think that is definitely something when you dig deep is to look, because what we did from 23 to 24, if it was addressed, because like I said, I don't know what was done, it didn't help.
Well, what's interesting though is if you look at the student responses for secondary, they do feel like school is a safe place, but elementary not so much. And so I think, we have to look at the elementary sites and see what's happening there. We heard a lot from the middle school tonight about fights, but I will say when I look at the middle school report, actually they showed the most improvement in almost all of their metrics. So
My comment to that would be, this is staff, the staff who work there every single day of their lives. I think that, not to negate parents or the kids' responses, kids surveys are a little, who knows what they're feeling that day or what the flavor of the day was. Parents as well, some parents, their kids don't get bullied, and so they're just like, yeah, things are fine. That's not the real, to me, that's not the real representation of what's going on. Talking to staff, if you interviewed every employee at the school and asked them, does the school feel like a safe environment? And if they realistically told me over the last 2 years we dropped 19% to not a good way, that'd be very alarming to me, more so than a parent, because again, the parents that spoke tonight, their comments are valid. I mean, they need to be heard. We need to figure those things out. But when we're hearing staff say that it's not good and it's getting worse, that's a problem.
Well,
Those are the experts. They're there every day.
I'm just saying it's interesting because this survey is more representative of elementary. And so when we're hearing about things tonight, it was more representative, it seemed like, of middle school. But this, from our staff members, is more representative from elementary. So that's why we need to dig in there and see, okay, well, what is going on at elementary? What supports and what safety measures do we need to implement?
I agree. To your point too, if what we heard is what's getting better at the middle school, I can only imagine the experience our students are having at the elementary school, if that's what you're reflecting as a whole, right? Because this is more conducive of the elementary school, right? Is that what you just said?
Of the staff, yes. About half of the respondents are from the elementary.
Right.
And so,
although
then we
today-
have about a quarter from the middle school, a quarter from the high school.
Copy.
So I think it needs to be investigated by at least the principals, because their fifth graders, school safety was 67%. And it has decreased over the last year and the second year as well. But the 67 versus 28, that's a pretty different perspective.
Correct. So just some of the high points. Again, you can obviously see the secondary list of things that have improved at secondary is pretty extensive. Definitely some things to work with elementary sites on how we can make improvements there.
Excuse me, there's 2 slides that were skipped over.
Yeah, they're hidden.
I'm sorry, what?
They're hidden, they're
Oh,
not
gotcha,
included,
okay.
yeah. Okay.
I think, but on the one slide, could you explain the numbers? There's a number, and then there's one next to it in parentheses. I'm assuming that's the average in parentheses from all the Capturing Kids Heart schools, but I'm not sure I'm correct.
Well, so this is old data, that's why it wasn't included in the presentation. So I'm not sure why you have that on your
Okay.
slide. Okay, and then can you go to the next slide, please? So this just kind of summarizes that all of this data is used in our district plans. As mentioned earlier, our principals have all of their site data, their parent report, their student reports, and also their staff reports to use as they're developing their multi-tiered systems of support plan and their single plan for school achievement. And then also this is used in our district LCAP plan. When we review it, it's part of our metric systems to measure progress on goals.
Any other questions or comments from the board? Thank you, Mrs. Paxton. Let me go back to my other screen. Number 3, approval of adoption of transitional kindergarten curriculum. Mrs. Paxton.
Instructional Services convened a committee comprised of transitional kindergarten teachers from the elementary sites to evaluate curriculum choices. Members of the committee have reviewed and recommended for adoption benchmark ready to advance curriculum for the elementary TK curriculum adoption. The proposed curriculum was presented to the Citizens Task Force on March 26, 2025. The Citizens Task Force members were in support of the adoption of the benchmark ready to advance curriculum and voted to recommend the curriculum to the board for adoption.
Any questions or comments from the board? Do I have a motion to approve the adoption of transitional kindergarten curriculum as presented?
Kelly, make the motion.
I'll second.
It was motioned by Vice President Kelly and seconded by Trustee Sweeney to approve the adoption of transitional kindergarten curriculum. All in favor, say aye. Oh, I'm sorry, it's a roll call vote.
President Kaminsky.
Aye.
Vice President Kelly.
Aye.
Clerk Wood.
Aye.
Trustee Cooper.
Aye.
Trustee Christensen.
Aye.
Trustee Napier.
Aye.
Trustee Sweeney.
Aye.
Thank you.
Motion carries 7-0. Item number 4, approval of adoption of interior design textbook.
The teaching staff of Tehachapi High School has reviewed and recommended the following textbook for adoption: the Interior Design Handbook, Furnish, Decorate, and Style Your Space by author Frida Ramstedt. The proposed textbook was presented to the Citizens Task Force on April 24th, 2025. The Citizens Task Force members were in support of the adoption of the textbook, and I just wanted to mention, loved it so much, they wrote down the ISBN number because they wanted to order it for themselves, which I thought was great because it was a very engaging book that people wanted to explore. Anyways, so Citizens Task Force voted to recommend the curriculum to the board for adoption.
Any questions or comments from the board? Do I have a motion for the board to approve the adoption of the interior design textbook?
I'll motion.
Kelly.
It was motioned by Trustee Sweeney and seconded by Trustee Cooper. The board approved the adoption of interior design textbook. Roll call vote. Ms. Barnes?
President Kaminsky.
Aye.
Vice President Kelly.
Aye.
Clerk Wood.
Aye.
Trustee Cooper.
Aye.
Trustee Christensen.
Aye.
Trustee Napier.
Aye.
Trustee Sweeney.
Aye.
Thank you.
Motion carries 7-0. Thank you, Mrs. Paxton. Item 11, future items.
I would just like a reminder of what you asked the superintendent to look at earlier. Was it video or was it something else? That's all.
That was the issue with, it was on her statement that there's something had to be, I don't know if she wanted to review it, bus video.
Okay, all right, thank you.
That's all. And her, I think I know the answer, but Ms. Smith.
Thank you. I would like to just add something to just a little public comment with the safety concerns from the staff's perspective at the elementary level, just if that sheds any light for you guys. I feel like some of the things are being protected from litigious parents. Parents are overly litigious right now and attacking people personally, and that provides some apprehension from the elementary teachers. There's a lot of facility concerns with one of our doors being solid wood door and we can't see who's on the outside of it, and the other door being a completely glass door, also not having a fence on the outside of Golden Hill, so that's another safety concern there. And then just having teeth in the discipline system. Our admin's hands are really tied by Ed Code with the dismissal of the K code being able to be a suspendable offense. So the defiance and disrespect from students inside the classroom, teachers feel very attacked by students on a regular basis, and not much can be done or is being done to help that situation. And admin's hands are tied, and we're pulling out all the stops and using buddy teachers and using all of the things, but those are things that we need school board involvement to help maybe even rewrite code in California and Sacramento to help those things. So just wanted to shed some light on those safety concerns.
Thank you. K was, I was trained as an administrator to always use K for every suspension because it was a disruption. It was. You're preaching to the choir, Ms. Smith. I couldn't agree with you more.
And Ms. Bowman wanted me
when I
to-
saw that come through, I just shook my head.
Right. And Ms. Bowman wanted me to add that cell phones are also a safety concern.
We'll be
at school.
addressing those.
Maybe we can follow LA Unified's policy on that.
Well, the plan earlier in the fall was to hold, because Trustee Cooper, Vice President Kelly, and myself formed the cell phone committee, and our plan was to have meetings with parents, staff, students, et cetera, would tell us what you need, what do you think?
Yeah.
And then Superintendent Larson Everson announced her retirement, and now that's shifted, and
Okay.
but I've already been in discussion. We're not going to put that on Superintendent Lynch. We'll put that on Superintendent Bell. And we have a whole year from July. Not that we wanted to put it off, but priorities changed.
Thank you.
But we will be addressing it.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm sorry, who? Oh, Trustee Napier.
I'm just confused how the order, we went from future items to additional public comment, or what was that?
I wanted to give her a chance to talk about, she wanted to address that safety percentage in the survey from staff.
Should we have asked for public comment at that agenda item? Is that what happened? We missed it, or what happened?
Well, it's not an action item, and this wasn't, it's a future item, so.
Okay.
I have something.
Trustee Sweeney.
In light of a lot of topics with what's going on in the middle school right now, I would like to have a future item to follow up with some things. 2011, we committed to a resolution based on some previous events, and I'd like to see if those things are still happening. Each school is supposed to have a safe space location. It's supposed to be advertised with hours and operations and availability. It's not on the website. I don't know, I have anything of it. I was just looking briefly into some of the requirements that we committed to as a district. Do we have a monitoring program? I would like to review some of those educational climates that we committed to see if they are happening, and if not, why. And then lastly, there's a student survey that's supposed to go out. Is that happening? It's not the Capturing Kids' Hearts, but it's actually around how they're feeling with what's on
The
this
Healthy
thing.
Kids Survey?
No, it's not the Healthy Kids. The survey will be administered annually, and it's supposed to analyze the data about the climate of how they feel with like harassment. It's specific, whereas
It sounds like the California Healthy Kids Survey, which is not that. And
Okay.
the acronyms are almost exact, so I get confused when I see it.
Okay, yes.
When I got to that,
I
is
just
this
don't
the
know,
Healthy
but I
Kids Survey or
definitely
not?
think this
Yeah.
needs to be.
And question, and what exactly was the monitoring what?
Well, it says in here, we can review it next week,
Okay.
but, and I'll have like key points if you'd
Okay.
like in an email. But we committed to having a assessment every year, and then there's like a monitoring district will designate to coordinate committees, meetings, et cetera, so.
Gotcha, okay.
Which includes students, which I think is something that needs to happen.
Mr. Lynch?
I think the results you just got today were the California Healthy Kids Survey. That was
Capturing Kids' Heart.
No, that was California Healthy Kids Survey, which we do every 2 years per California rules.
See?
So,
Proved
that
my
was
point. It's very
CHKS.
confusing.
That was the CHKS as opposed to CKH, which is our Capturing Kids Hearts. So.
writing letters, different order.
Thank you.
Yeah, these were specific for school climate surveys. So I don't know if there is a survey. I'm just, ignorant, I don't know. But it has to do with like specific questions about harassment and things like that. And I don't know that any of our surveys do that.
Okay, I'll be happy to look into it and
Thank
see what
you.
we can do.
In my spare time, I have been reviewing, and there are several surveys available, both for bullying and general health.
Anything else? All right. Item 12, lunch. And Mrs. Paxton.
Well, in light of all of the comments and discussion tonight, I think that this quote from Helen Keller really is relevant. It says, "Alone we can do so little, together we can do so much." And it really does take a village to support our students. When I selected this quote, we had been at camp for fifth grade camp, and we were up there for 9 days. And why I selected it is it does require a lot of orchestrating between multiple departments. We need maintenance to come and help us bring all the items up, help take it back. We partner with the county, with the social workers, with JMS, with our PE team to provide this wonderful experience for our fifth graders. But we do really need to work as a team to provide an excellent experience for our students.
Thank you, Ms. Paxton. That brings us to the last item, adjournment. Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Adamson.
I just wanted to, and I don't know the appropriateness because I don't know my Robert's Law the way I should on this, but we had a tragic thing happen to one of our students Sunday evening, from my understanding. And I think words matter on what we say up here. The parents can say what they want, they can grieve how they want, but we need to be careful on some of our wordings as the representatives of the district. A tragic thing happened to one of our middle school students. We did not have a tragic thing at the middle school. We don't know why the student did it. We can speculate. As a site, we need to be reflective of our practices. Did we see flags? Were there things we could have done? And as a site, we will go through that process. But we can't assume because we don't know why. We don't know why this girl did it. And so we need to be careful of just assuming the responsibilities upon ourselves. The public can make whatever assumptions they want, but as a board, as a district, we need to be careful just accepting the responsibility when the truth is, we don't know. And we need to be careful that we need to be reflective. Have we been doing the things since the last time there was a major incident to support kids? We have social workers. At my site, we have the Big Chill. We do check in on kids. But with the absence of an answer, people are going to try to fill in answers. As the district, we can't do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Adamson. And having to handle some of these as a principal and others as an assistant to the superintendent. And I've even spoken about that issue at the leadership camp with our team of kids. So, and we're never, on this individual, we're not going to know. We're not going to know. And with that, at 8:22, we are adjourned.